this week, Friday.
Okay.
Before Friday.
I will say this because there's another big sports event happening as we are now live on the channel. And we're y'all want to hear all that. Tune in to Is the Mic Salon. We have our thoughts about the debate tonight. But I was telling the fam as we let people get in here, that one thing she has to do tonight, she has to absolutely get into some fucking policy.
Yes.
I didn't mean to curse that early because they be trying to demonetize.
Yeah.
But yeah, she has to get into policy, bro. Like if she's not getting into any policy, like people are like over the
hype speech.
Yeah.
They over the Dan Campbell. They over the Dan Campbell stuff. They need the X's and O's.
Yeah. You gotta get the people something, and all the other stuff is over.
She got to because especially with the shooting incident that happened, they're gonna have to talk about gun control. So that's gonna have to be a conversation. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know if you're gonna have Q on there for the Is the Mic Salon. He may say that he said this all a sham. He said they paying both sides.
Nah, I'm gonna have to save him for a separate thing, bro.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, King, you about to get on FIFA like Ocho?
People here though.
That was some sucker shit. Man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was.
And I fuck with Shannon, but that was some sucker shit.
I'm not even. I think Ken, you may have said this in the chat. Like I ain't even mad at Shannon for having that perspective or even saying that to him. But why did that have to come out though?
Right.
Like that's what I don't like about it. Like it's cool to have that conversation if y'all in business and that's how you feel. That's fine, but why would we put that out unless they wanted it to be
controversial? And they are releasing the clips. Like I saw them release the one about him mad about tech issues. I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, that's weird. That's
and it's not even fuzzy videos. You know what I'm saying? Like when Draymond snuffed
it's like
this is like post-production cut up
facts.
Less than 2 minutes.
Ken said it best. Like Shannon really leaning into that messy, like Cat Williams did this, so I'm gonna be messy throughout the year.
It's work.
I don't like it though. It's been cool up until this shit with Ocho. I don't like the stuff that's happened with Ocho.
Look, being in those moments where shit happens, you know, is tough. You know, and if you don't have a lot of experience in that area, like it's going to be even rougher to have the patience and the understanding that tech stuff happens. Like, but when I heard what the issue was, I'm like, bro, that's it. Like the video, what it sounds like of you talking was playing in your ear, and you had a hissy fit about that. Like, I don't know about that one.
It's like Shannon almost trying to act like he too big for this. Like I shouldn't even be doing it. I'm doing you a favor, Ocho, by doing this with you.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Do you feel that Shannon has become a prima donna now?
It's what it's coming off like that, bro.
You see how he got out the Escalade? You see, he only get out there.
They say that Ocho is always late though, so it's habitual for him.
Who's they? Who's they?
The people that watch the show. Like it seems to be a fairly common thing that he's habitually late.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say like I'm like I catch the show all the time, but when I do catch the show, he's not late. Like it's not a thing.
Well, it depends on when you turn the show on.
True. No, but I'm saying oftentimes I catch it at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Most of the times I catch it, middle or toward the end. But oftentimes I do catch it at the beginning. He's not late like that. It's not like a always type of thing. Like so
or maybe they start later than what they were supposed to.
Yeah, like maybe
it may be. I was gonna say it may be late. Like maybe he's late and they don't start the show until later. I'm not sure because I ain't made it. Evidently it's something, but he's saying if you can be on time for ESPN, you can be on time for our show. That's what he was basically.
That's fine, but why are you telling me
this? Picked up?
That's fine, but why are you telling me this on air?
Right, I agree.
That, and also it was an uncontrollable situation for him that he documented. You know what I'm saying? Like you got like there has to be a little bit of lie, bro. You know, don't even trip.
I think that was more of like this is the 11th time you was late, and this is the one
Yeah.
time you had a good excuse. And I don't want to hear that because you heard what he said. He was like, "No, you don't." No, he had you could tell he had mental receipts of like, nigga, you ain't been doing this shit to say that you've been doing.
But, all right, well, we have a lot to get into, so let's go ahead and start the show. Full cast tonight. So let's try to be clean in and out.
Like, damn, bro. Somebody already upset about our takes.
Yeah, man. Remy ain't having it, bro. Remy ain't having it.
He is upset.
Welcome to Dennis Sports, the place where sports experience collide. 13 years of experience bringing you the hottest take and in-depth analysis. Once again, man, we're here to give you one hell of a show. The NFL season kicked off this past weekend. And if you are not subscribed to the show, subscribe to the show. If you're watching now, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, tell everybody that we're on there, and tell everybody to tune in. We actually had, three live shows over the weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I believe. Yeah, and then we did the show Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So we're covering a lot. So we hope you guys are enjoying all of those. And if you are missing them, make sure you guys go to YouTube, youtube.com/deadendsports, and subscribe so you don't miss it. As we work to keep the audio feed updated for you guys each and every week. So let's get into everything that transpired over this past weekend outside of what we've already covered. My name is Kenneth Beans. Joining me on the show, we have Nick, we have Shelton, we have Spike Lou, we have FIFO 24/7, and coming back, we have Q. Welcome back, brother.
Yep, I had to celebrate Dak's contract with the fellas, so Spike 60 mil. Let's go, Spike. Let's go.
He celebrates Spike.
He was drinking for a different reason.
Oh man.
I love the alley, man. I love the toss-up. That's beautiful because this past Sunday, Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys have agreed to a 4-year, $240 million extension. Ooh. The extension includes a record-breaking $231 million in guaranteed money. Did Dallas do the smart thing in re-signing Dak and making him the highest-paid player in the NFL? And before I hand it off, and I think it's appropriate that we hear from Spike first. But Spike, before I say this, I will say that we all know Jerry is entertaining. He's here to make news and generate clicks and keep the Cowboys in the public sphere, the headlines. I'm not listening to a damn thing Jerry has to say anymore, bro. He talked all this shit. This is the second or third time he's talked all this shit. Just the cave. Like, what the hell is going on, bro? Anyway, the floor is yours, brother.
Hold on, Spike. Can you miss one word? Highest paid NFL player ever.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Until the next guy get paid, right? Like we've talked about this on this show and how they're going to be able to maintain that next guy in line, and he's the highest paid person in the league. I think to your point, Ken, what Jerry was doing the whole time was bullshit. So no, you can't listen to what he says. He knew the whole time that they were going to sign him. So all of that stuff that he was saying about Dak and we wondering about this, he just wanted to continue to make headlines. He just wants to make the Cowboys the most talked about team. I think as I became an older, more seasoned Cowboys fan, I understand that that's what he's trying to do, keep the name in the news. And how else other do you do that than right before we kick off the ball, before you're talking about every other team, we want you to know that we, the Dallas Cowboys, have the highest paid quarterback ever. Do I think they should have did it? I mean, what other options did they have? Like, it's either that or let him ride out this season and pay him even more, 2 times more, because he thinks he's that much better than Brock Purdy would be. So I'm not mad at it. I don't think that it changes anything as far as how I feel about Dak. One thing that I think was, again, taken with a grain of salt, because what you said, Ken, who cares what Jerry says now? He said when we have the highest paid players in the league, we win Super Bowls, and he's referencing Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin in those years that they were the highest paid position players in the league, and also some of the linemen. I think Eric Allen, and I don't know who it was, maybe Deion Sanders on defense. So he is referencing that point. He's figuring if I pay CeeDee Lamb, okay, cool. If I pay Dak Prescott, okay, cool. And now I'm gonna pay Micah Parsons. We have the talent, we've drafted well, so now we have to win a Super Bowl. I don't think anything has changed for Dak though, other than him being the highest paid player in the league. He still got the same amount of pressure.
Shelton.
Yes, sir.
Mic drop.
Nah, nigga, we let you just talk. We let you talk at a funeral, nigga.
What you got? What you got, Shelton?
Nigga said at a funeral.
Eagles fan.
Jerry's just so crazy to me, man. He just if you were gonna do this, and I get what you're saying, Spike. I don't think Jerry that smart though. I don't think he was thinking that.
Come on, this is the most valuable franchise in all of sports.
It is, but I
don't know.
think,
You can't say that.
I don't think so, Lou. I don't think so. I think a broken clock is right twice a day, but he's been pressured. This has been happening even back. We can go back as far as Zeke. Pressure to the ninth hour to make a deal when you have to do something when you don't see nothing else happening. I do think it was the right move because, like you said, you're not going to get anything better. You have a better chance of Dak climbing the hill than you do of starting over with, say, a Trey Lance or anybody else for that matter that was available, because ain't nobody else giving up their quarterbacks at this point. So you really did the only thing you could do, which is sign him for what he was going to ask for. Otherwise, you'd be dealing with a holdout situation, messy situation next year. And who wants to go into a year like that? Who wants to wait? And like you said, that price may go up. He could be free to go where he wanted to go, and you miss out on him. You got to make the move. Jerry had no choice. He had no choice.
It was going to go up if Purdy signed before Dak. Like they would have paid a higher price because Purdy was going to ask for a certain amount, and Dak would have wanted much more than that.
Stephen Jones had to be in his ear, like, please, Dad, just go on and do it. Just do it, Dad. Because what else he gonna do? What else could he have done?
To me, here's the thing. I think this was all designed, and not from like Dak and Jerry collaborating on this. I think this is just Jerry. Look at when the news dropped. You know what I'm saying? It was like right at the beginning of the season before anything happens, or like right on the first not the beginning of the season because that was Thursday, but Sunday, right before the games kicked off in the morning. Like this deal, like to me, this is all designed. I think there was some comments about that as well. Like, bro, Jerry, best thing he's ever done for this team was marketing. So we're always talking about it. We leading the show with it when it's about a quarterback that we all feel has performed less than what this contract is worth. But at the same time, like you can't really argue that this is a brilliant move by Jerry to take all the headlines, drag everything out to where we had to talk about the Cowboys all summer, all off season, all that other stuff. And now we got a deal that everything we just said before then makes no sense. Like Dak possibly going to the Giants, Dak going here, getting traded, like doing it. Like now that's all mute. It don't even matter because he re-signed and now he's the quarterback for the next 4 years.
But to your point, people were talking about it. Hence, that's the reason Dallas, and I'm not saying this in a braggadocious type of way at all. That's the reason the Cowboys are the most valuable franchise in sports because of what you just said. Nick. Yes, it was by design. He tried to do this. He wants people talking about Dak's contract all season when they don't have anything else to talk about it. Then boom, an hour before kickoff, here, let's release this news.
I'm just saying sports means we talking about the world at this point. What's the kid that always be talking about the NBA? What's his name? Neil Young or whatever the hell, the track star. When you say all in sports, the Cowboys ain't the most valuable. Like we got some soccer teams.
No, they are.
The soccer teams.
The Cowboys are the most valuable team in all of professional sports.
There was a graphic that just dropped that said they were ranked number one, but I didn't read the full headline.
Let me look at it.
Per the last Forbes list, the Cowboys are the most valuable team worldwide.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
And again, I'm not saying that like, oh yeah, I'm a Dallas fan. That don't mean shit to me because
you're right.
We Super Bowl.
$10 billion, $9
billion.
And again, I could care less about that, but it makes me understand and process better as a Cowboys fan what Jerry does. He's doing this to make money. Like Nick has the best point of all. Like He's in this for marketing. Yeah, he used to try to win Super Bowls. He got 3. I feel like that's cool for him. If I win another one, cool. But I'm here to make money, and that's what this movie is all about. Him
Because
here to make money.
He knows that the team is mediocre, but fans ain't going nowhere.
Stop it.
So
Now,
it doesn't matter.
We already heard from you, Sheldon. I thought we was keeping it moving.
Well, my thing is like he bought this team for what, less than $300 million?
Yeah.
Right?
150 million.
And it's now 10
in
billion.
1989, and it's now worth $9 billion. I just sent y'all
$9
the chart.
So Shelton, he got shit right more than twice, bro.
Right? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
And kid, no, he did not. They not going nowhere. I don't care,
bro. He
So
got
that
10.
ain't
It's
his goal.
10 billion, bro. All the other shit you talking about means
that don't
nothing.
matter.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Like there's two conversations happening. We're talking about football wins and losses in Super Bowls, right? If we're talking about that, Jerry Jones has sucked, right? Ever since he let go of Jimmy Johnson. If we are talking about the marketer and the ownership of the Dallas Cowboys taking a business from $150 million to $9 billion, there's an argument to say he's the greatest owner ever from a business perspective. Because, bro, like look, let's give his flowers in that respect. Because here's the thing, he's almost $2 billion higher than the next franchise, which is the New York Yankees. And the New York Yankees have been around much longer or more relevant than the Cowboys. So let's give Jerry Jones props there.
He gets props, but that franchise was valuable when he took it over.
But
No, it wasn't. It was worth 150 million.
Wait,
It was
the point
already
of even
America's
bringing
team.
that
At that
into
time,
the
there was a lot of
conversation.
money.
Hold on, one at a time.
The point bringing that into the conversation though was we asked about the timing of the contract dropping. It is this a good contract from the standpoint of it being worth $9 billion and all the talk about the contract. That's the only reason we brought that up. Like you're right, FIFO. It's a separate conversation from the Super Bowls and the success on the field. Like that's a whole nother conversation. But to the point of the question that Nick asked, it made all the sense in the world that this contract dropped and that it's worth this much and that they did everything leading up to it.
What you got, Q?
Man, Jerry is the greatest, and I guess you could say owner. I think that he's not just an owner. I think Jerry, if I could get a little poetic for a second, Jerry is the owner of the second most successful religion in America. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a lot of people waiting for deliverance to come, and it's not gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Like Sexy Red wasn't even born the last time the Dallas Cowboys won a Super Bowl. Let's just, I was like 2 months old. Let's just be real about that. So I don't know if he's the greatest, but he's damn sure got, the ability to spin the media to his to whatever he wants. You know what I'm saying? So I always thought that the contract was going to be a good thing for Dallas. They're always in contention. You can clue in 11, 12 wins every year, and that's worth something. That's worth $60 million. He makes that team go. Him, Michael Parsons, those are the two best players on that team. I don't care what no one says. Those are the two best players on Dallas, and those are the two who deserve to be paid the most. So Dak has been consistent. He just doesn't win the big one. Like, he's like Aaron Rodgers post Super Bowl. Like, I don't see why we can be so in love with Aaron Rodgers because he has all this talent, but he ain't done shit since 2010. You know what I'm saying? But people want to get on Mike Tomlin's head because he hasn't done anything besides continue to win. There's something that should be said for people who continue to get wins. You can clue them in every single year for 11 to 14 wins a season. Dak is going to get that every year. And they're going to be in a playoff spot. It's just that Dallas fans are waiting on deliverance to come to them like the old days. And that's just up to luck. And that's just up to if Jerry wants to spend money on free agents, which hasn't been his trend for the last couple of years.
Well, Q, there's two. Hold on, Ken. There's two sides to it, right? Like the fans are delusional, but the reason why they're delusional is because Jerry. To a degree, Ken, but not
definition of
there.
fan.
There's no fan base more delusional than the damn Cowboys, and part of the reason is because of Jerry Jones. Jerry
Talk to
Jones
Nick
continues.
every damn week.
Well, Nick is a whole separate case, bro.
We're picking Bengals,
That dude is crazy. That dude is crazy.
I would argue a Knicks fan is way more delusional than a Cowboys fan.
No.
No. Cowboys are no. Y'all are the number one delusioned fan base in all of
Jerry
sports.
Jerry has beaten us into submission. We all have accepted now what's going on. Like we see the play. We just
No. Here's the thing.
Older Cowboys fans know it.
Spike, at the beginning of the season and throughout the season, y'all delusional until it comes to a screeching halt.
That's a narrative.
Every year that you've been on Dead in Sports has been the same old, bro. It's the same song and dance. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you are the representation for the Cowboys. Look, hold on. At the end of the day, Jerry Jones, if we're giving him, if
everybody's saying the same thing I am, FIFO.
If we are giving Jerry Jones the flowers of being the greatest marketer, he's also the reason why y'all are trash on the football side. Because
that's not true.
How is that not true?
Trash in what way, people? Trash in what way? Not winning the Super Bowl?
Exactly, Ken. Because he has delusions of grandeur. He thought he was bigger than Jimmy Johnson. He thought it was because of him. And the moment that thought crept into his mind, he hasn't won nothing. But he continues to sell this fan base on we're all in. What the hell does that mean? Y'all didn't make no moves but re-sign two of your biggest players.
You don't think he's all in with the latest moves?
I was just about to say FIFO.
That's all in?
CeeDee Lamb, yes.
Are the Niners all in? Are the Niners all in?
The Niners are all in, Ken, because they have multiple, more than 2 or 3 pro
So do the Cowboys, FIFO.
What you about to say? What you about to say?
People cannot make the sense, bro.
Michael Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott.
That's it. That's it. You have 3.
Diggs
was hurt last year.
The other year. Come on, FIFO. DeMarcus Lawrence. They draft good people. Jerry Jones is doing his job as a GM. He just don't hire a good coach.
You have 3 All Pros. You have Micah. Who was All Pro? DeMarcus Lawrence was in an All Pro.
I was gonna say, like, we were forgetting the offensive lineman that they had too, but that they let go.
Zach Martin, Tyreek Smith.
Tyreek Smith. He was, I think one of them was
the Cowboys got one of the best rosters in football, hence the expectations that you're talking about.
Bro,
Jerry Jones has done his job in every aspect other than hiring a good coach. That's the one thing that you're right about, people. He won't hire a personality that will clash with him, that he wants full control. That's the only thing that's held us back. He's drafted well. He's marketed well, as we've talked about throughout this segment. The only thing is he won't hire somebody that can get the job done at head coach.
Last thing, Kieran, we'll move on.
Dallas's problem has been, from what I've seen as an Eagles fan, is that they've had talent to get to the dance. It's just those things on the margins in free agency that is against Jerry's philosophy. That's been the thing, is Jerry refuses to pay an extra $3 million to go get, I remember a couple years ago, go get Earl Thomas to shore up the secondary. He won't go get, a top flight tight end when Jason Witten leaves. He'd rather just draft his guys. He's very big on, I want to draft my boys. I want to pay them. I want to make them feel like they're a part of the Dallas family. But the best teams have to go trade for a Chase Young to go contend for the Super Bowl to pad the rest of the roster. They have to go sign a Saquon Barkley. They have to go get a Hollywood Brown on the free agency side. Those are the little things on the margins that Jerry doesn't do. I don't think that makes him trash. That just makes Dallas fans delusional because they don't see that you need a little bit of both. You need free agents and you need drafted guys.
Right.
I mean, go ahead, Spike.
I was just gonna say you're not wrong, Q, but different teams have different philosophies, and I think Jerry and Steven's philosophy is more so we're going to trust our GM skills in drafting the players versus going out and getting the players. Other teams do that too,
and it's not often a lot of those signings really pay off either.
I don't know though, because I don't see any teams that don't go to the Super Bowls that don't spend money.
Christian McCaffrey went to the Super Bowl and they lost.
But they went though. The Dallas Cowboys fans would literally blow up America if they went to the fucking Super Bowl, dude. Like they'd be like jumping for joy if they even just lost Super Bowl.
Remember the primetime Eagles that went in and signed all those guys? Like you sign free agents and sometimes you miss. Like it just happens. But I don't know. I would have to look at the history of teams signing a big free agent and going to a Super Bowl.
Go to any team. I'm just talking about contention. Go to any team in the last 10 years. They have a mixed philosophy. I'm not saying that they go out and spend all this buku money, but they have a philosophy of, if we need to go get one or two guys to shore something up, let's do that. Let's draft good guys. The problem is that Jerry is judge, jury, and executioner. He's going to be GM. He's going to be player personnel. He's going to be in the locker room. He's going to control the entire show versus having a coach, having a GM who's very distant. Jeffrey Lurie lets Howie Roseman take care of the situation. We have a ring in 2018 and we went to Super Bowl 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Nick is still living off of Joe Burrow getting to the Super Bowl just off the fact that they're able to sign some key free agents and make a deep run. And they drafted Joe Burrow. So you have to have a philosophy of a little bit of both. Around the margins, you have to bring in certain guys. You can't just think that it's all going to be by the guys that I bring in. And any team that does that doesn't really have a lot of success.
Last year they brought in Stephon Gilmore.
They did, and I think that was a good pickup. And I think that we'll see over the course of the season if they need to go and get a guy, before the deadline or not, And he's done that before.
Yeah, and so the issue that I foresee is, we're going to talk about Nets, and I think Jerry kind of see the same thing, which is probably why he went ahead and paid that, because it's probably his most realistic chance of winning the Super Bowl, because Jerry spoke to the media and said, there's a lot of me that hopes that Dak is the QB for the rest of my time. And that's not just limited to the terms of this contract either. I've got a lot of confidence in him. Will Dak be the last QB Jerry has in his lifetime? Because Jerry is 80-something, y'all. And he's knocking on that door.
How many years is Dak been in the league now?
4. Oh, I thought you were talking about the deal.
No. The deal is
8
4
years now. This is like his 8th year, isn't it?
Something like that. When he got it.
He was there in 2016, so it's 20.
It's like 28. I want to say he got drafted 20. I was like 14 to 16. Let me look at it.
Yeah, it's like 8. Yeah,
2014 was the Dez dropped it year.
Oh, okay.
2016. It's 2016.
Yeah, it's like it's his 8th year. It's almost a decade of Dak.
Yeah, he'll be the last one, because I can see them giving him another contract after this one. Because again, they're going to be in the same situation. Because here's the thing, Ken. Most quarterbacks can play to their 40 plus. As long as you can read the field.
That's not true.
FIFO. Ain't no more.
I ain't going. They already knocking on the.
There are a couple that can play 40. Yeah, like Tom Brady made that seem like it was normal, but it's not.
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. That's your list.
But even with Aaron Rodgers, people saying like
Drew Brees.
Should we see
Drew
how
Brees
it happened to Drew Brees?
Yeah, he started to suck at the end.
Yeah.
And we looking at Aaron Rodgers right now. Tom Brady may be the only one. But go to your point.
He ain't got no after this.
I'm saying Russell Wilson's still in the league. Russell Wilson damn near 40.
Is he? Where Russell? Hey, Shelton, was Russ playing?
I see what people. I get where people are trying to go though. It was just a bad choice of words, because yes, Dak probably will be there until Jerry Jones dies with 4 years. Yeah. Who knows if that's how much time he got left? But I don't think it's going to be another contract being signed.
Well,
that's not going to happen.
He may get an extension though. You'll extend him. What you'll do is you'll extend him after about 2 years. He may get a 2-year extension. Is what Jerry's trying to say. So this contract and beyond, he may not get another full. He's not going to get the full 4. They may extend him another 2 and guarantee a little bit more money to kind of stress that out, because they're going to need more money from somewhere. So his contract will be restructured. He'll get more time. He'll get a little bit more money, and he'll be on par. So he may get a total of 6 in the end, 5 maybe, to 5 to be more precise. If he can stay healthy, that's the key. But that's probably all Jerry has left in ownership there.
Yeah, I mean, it's solid 5-6 years before he step away.
Right. So it probably will be Dak. as long as he can stay healthy, that's the key. If he starts, the injury bug can come on. That may change some things. Plus the fact that if you have the opportunity to get somebody else in a few years and he's not won a Super Bowl, you may move on at that point as well. So yeah.
And him saying that makes all more sense in the world as far as him giving Dak that contract. He don't want to go through this again.
Yep.
I don't want to draft as I hope it should do a Sanders and do all this new quarterback and rebuilding. Like he wants Dak to be the guy, and he's looking at it like shit. Give him the money. He showed that he's good. Maybe we can luck up 1 year and win the Super Bowl.
You don't want Shador no more, Lou? I thought
or Trey Lance.
We talking about Jerry. We talking about Jerry. I'm talking about like if you talking about me, then yeah, let's get Shador in there. I'll trade Dak for the number 1 pick, and we can go get Shador, and we can start over. But I'm not 88 years old either.
Yeah, I think that he thinks that in his head, I think that he should realize Dak is not your total problem. You got other problems that creep up when time comes. You know what I'm saying? This is a good enough team to be regular season champs. But when you get to the playoffs, that's when the weaknesses show. Yeah, that
somebody said it in the chat. The whole problem since Jerry Jones has been fired is he won't hire a coach that he's going to let have full control.
You mean Jimmy Johnson?
There will continue to be a problem in Dallas as long as he's not willing to hire someone with the personality like Jimmy Johnson, as Nick just said. That's always going to be the problem. Whether it's Jason Garrett, right now Mike McCarthy, before him Wade Phillips, like that's always going to be the problem. Is the coach has to be a yes man, and I'm not sure if you can win a Super Bowl with a yes man coach. That's the biggest problem. It ain't GMing, it ain't marketing, it ain't none of those things. All of that stuff he's done well because we see he got a $10 billion franchise. But until he gets another coach like Jimmy Johnson, then we're gonna be in the same position.
Well, yeah, I think on with you, Spike. I think he realized that. Yeah, I might be at the end of my rope. So yeah, let me keep the continuity together of this team, and maybe Spike, maybe
we'll win one.
Maybe they'll get lucky because it can happen. It has happened. Maybe he may realize that, look, I'm almost out of here anyway. Let me go holler at Bill Belichick and get him in here.
There you go.
As a name, just as a name, everybody that can come in here and do some things. So, but he has to get desperate he has to really want to win another Super Bowl to relinquish that control. So we'll see how they go. Is this Nick? You got a disrespect here, brother?
Oh no, not today.
Oh, we didn't take that off here. My bad. So let's move on, man. Let's hop to some Week 1 reactions. We know why you guys are here. See you guys in the chat. I see some of you were mad. Thought you may have missed it. Asking if they missed the Burrow slander.
No.
So
Nick was in the car like,
here we are.
Hey Joe, I drinking for the vodka. You dare me to drive? Like nigga, what?
Here we go. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. So it's a 2-for-1 special. That's what sound like Watson said, bro. That's what Watson be looking for, bro.
he about to get 2 for 1, all right. He about to get two foots up his ass up out of Cleveland. They want to kick that nigga out.
The baby oil bandit.
Oh man, both teams took ugly losses to start off the season. But which team from Ohio looked worse?
Go ahead, Nick.
Who you start with, Nick?
Hey, I got a lot to say.
Hey, get it off.
No. I don't have a lot to say. I'll let y'all go first because I just want to hear what y'all got to say because everybody.
That's a toss-up.
Shelton, I'm gonna let you go first, bro.
That's a toss-up, but I would say if you ask me if I had to pick, it's going to be the Bengals. And I say that because,
of course, you would say that.
Yeah, but Nick, I have to because playing the Patriots, you should have penciled that in as a W. You at home, you in those nice looking uniforms, you out there like you're supposed to wreak havoc on that team. You let them come in there and steal one from you. I saw Dallas as a better team than Cleveland, so they were kind of looking up anyway. Deshaun is not Deshaun. I don't know who this guy is, but that's not him. That's not the quarterback that I seen with the Texans, and we know why. But you should have had that game if you're the Bengals. There's no excuse for that play, and you had Jamar back. You didn't get him the ball enough. He wasn't happy. You could tell he wasn't happy. But that was a game you had to have, and you didn't take it. They start slow every year. We know the Bengals team is notorious for starting slow, but this year you can't do that. You just can't. You can't have a start like that. Now I'm gonna tell you, Nick, I am kind of nervous because I saw Joe Burrow trying to hold. He couldn't even hold a bottle of water on the sidelines. So I don't know if that hand still messed up. I saw several times he was flexing it. So I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get the Joe Burrow that we thinking we're gonna get this year at all. I hope he's all right, so we can at least see if he's how highly ranked as everybody thinks he is. But I don't know.
Same. I think that Cleveland, as much as we think that that's a clone of Deshaun Watson, I don't know if I can say that they were worse than the Bengals because Cleveland had a lot of guys out, right tackle and left tackle that were both hurt, if I'm not mistaken. And you got Michael Parsons on the other side, so you're going to look terrible. You're going to look awful. And Deshaun, for as bad as his throws were independent of the line, that's not going to help you when you don't have any time to throw either. So at least if you're a Browns fan, you can maybe talk yourself into, well, he could have looked a little bit better if we get our guys back up front because the dude at left tackle couldn't stop anybody. It was really bad. Bengals, dude, they just look bad. I don't know what to say. Like they really just look like a bad team right now. I think that Joe Burrow is still, hindered by something. I don't know what it is. Like Sheldon said, it could be the hand. I don't know if he's overcompensating for another lower limb injury or whatever. But this is the year to prove people wrong. And they started off really bad. It's only week 1, so they could, catch fire at a certain time. But this is the division where you don't want to get behind because if the Pittsburgh Steelers can keep winning with backups and the Ravens are going to do what we expect them to do, Bengals, shit, third place ain't going to cut it, man. So.
Shout out to you, Ken, for putting me on the NFL Plus where you can watch all the condensed versions of the game. So I did go back and I watched the condensed version of this after Nick was spewing blasphemy in the text. Something, it wasn't Joe Burrow's fault. It was more than that, and it was more than that. So I wanted to go look at it. 30 minutes, you get to look at the whole game. They cut out all the bullshit from it. And reluctantly, I agree with Nick. I don't. This wasn't a Joe Burrow thing. This wasn't a Cincinnati institutional thing. This was my top receiver hasn't practiced all year. He just came back because he didn't want to do anything to disrupt his contract. We threw him out here because we think he's that good, and it threw off their rhythm. They didn't look like that they were in the mode that they needed to be in for game 1. I do think that can change because I think Burrow is that good, and I think Chase is that good. They just need some more reps. With Cleveland and me being a Dallas fan watching that whole game, Deshaun Watson is cooked. Like Cleveland is in a bad situation. Dude look like he don't know how to play football anymore. And if people are calling for Jameis Winston, like the state that your franchise, like I think I would stop rooting for the Cowboys if Jameis Winston was our backup and people were saying take Dak out and put Jameis Winston there. I'll be done. I'm done with football at that point. I'm just watching because I enjoy the sport, not because I'm rooting for the Cowboys. So I think Cleveland is in a much worse place than the Bengals are. I think the Bengals will figure it out. Zach Taylor, he doesn't study well in the offseason. He always starts slow like this. We'll see him get it together. He has Joe Burrow, the second best quarterback in the league. Jamar Chase going to get his act together. I think they'll be okay, but the Browns are in trouble.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead, people.
Yeah, I'll double down on what Nick is going to say, and shout out to Nick Wright for giving me the numbers that I needed. When Russell Wilson was cut by the Broncos, that was an $80 million dead cap hit that they spread over 2 years.
Ooh, the cap hit for Watson. You know what it is? The
cap hit for $172 million if they were to cut him over 2 seasons. So because of that, and he is cooked. I'm the one that has been hopeful that when they got Deshaun, they obviously have everything else around him to be successful, but he's just cooked. It is what it is. The man is seeing ghosts. The man can't throw. The man can't make plays like he once did. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. And we've had enough tape and enough time to analyze and evaluate what it is. And it's just a wrap. And on top of that, the money situation is worse. The reason why I'm saying the Browns is because I do agree with Spike and I do agree with Nick. It's not a Joe Burrow thing. The timing and all of that is off, and they'll be fine. Like Joe Burrow is a top 3, top 5 quarterback, depending on who you're listening to. Jamar Chase is a top 3 wide receiver, top 5 wide receiver. T. Higgins is arguably the best second wide receiver in the league. They went and got Jermaine Burton. They went and got Gesicki. So we know that the offense, that's an offensive push team, right? They go as far as the offense will go. They'll be fine. It's only week 1. And I also said it on, all of the recaps that we've done. Give these teams 3 weeks. It's a condensed preseason. The starters don't play. Give them up to week 4 to really know for these guys to get in a true rhythm. All that being said, I don't know what the Browns do outside of draft a quarterback and then keep Deshaun on the roster, which is crazy, and let the rookie play. That's the only way.
They better hope that Chubb come back with a vengeance, and you got to put 9 people in the box to stop Nick Chubb. That's the only prayer that they have. Because Deshaun Watson done, bro.
I'm going to say both and. Because I mean I did see Burrow fumble the ball at the beginning.
It wasn't a
of the
fumble,
game.
kid. It wasn't a fumble.
Well, it looked bad. It looked bad.
He was down by contact.
Okay, well, fortunately. Historically, so we do know that the Bengals have always, started slow. But at some point, man, you can't always rely on getting hot. And then you also, as we've seen last year, run into an issue where your star quarterback gets hurt. Now, I do have evidence that Zach Taylor is able to coach and win games because he was able to win some games and have the Bengals looking fairly decent when Jake Browning was in the game for the latter part of the season. I think he was a rookie. But there was a lot of turmoil. There were a lot of issues going on with that team, and there still are. Chase did get 6 catches off 6 targets, so they did look at him. I don't know if he want 20, he want 15, he want 30 targets. So but with T. Higgins out, you would expect them to use him a little bit more. But as you guys already commented on, he hasn't been there. He hasn't been practicing. So these are self-inflicted wounds that Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow as a leader, has to fix. But offensively, they look terrible, and the defense, they help them out. I saw lots of missed tackles. So if we're talking about the team as a whole and not putting it all on one person, yeah, the Bengals look freaking awful, especially if they can't stop anybody. But they didn't look worse than the goddamn Browns, bro. But and man, I was sitting. It was so bad, Spike. I had to sit here and just have to explain to my wife what the hell was happening with Deshaun Watson, because I was like, "Do you understand that this guy was top
one of the best
5
MVP candidate?"
Yeah, and since he decided to go willy-nilly around where he was,
big Willie style.
He can't get it together. He's been hurt, and I'm like, bro, like, is he really done? Like, hey, bro,
he tried to blame it on like family matters and stuff.
No,
he got a lot.
So Steve Urkel do?
Nah, he got a lot going on. His dad and his uncle. Like, I think.
Oh no! I did see that. Like, I did read something like, I think his dad
to his
passed away.
Point though, it's like it's always something though. Like for the last 2.5, 3 years. At some point, you're like, come on, bro. Like, god damn.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. And the Browns look like idiots. I thought he could get back to what he was.
Right.
The Browns look like idiots. So I think it's a wrap for the Browns. I do have concerns about the Bengals.
One thing though, and he got a new Baca charge though, so the Browns may be able to use that to get out of the contract.
That's what I want to go to real quick about the Browns because I know everybody wants me to hear to talk about the Bengals. I conspiracy Nick, and I don't know if Q may have some receipts on it, but I feel like because this charge just came
got
out.
The paperwork.
Charge just came out. I feel like this is what happened. Cleveland Browns was holding back whatever charges that were going to be upcoming for Deshaun as long as his contract is there. But then once you kind of see that game and the games prior and how much money they owe him, I can see them being like, all right, let the floodgates in. Whoever come out next.
He a fan.
Whoever come out next.
Same thing, bro.
Whoever come out next, we're gonna use that as our scapegoat to get out this. Because like what FIFO said is what the number has got me is that it ain't like no Russell Wilson type of contract where it's like, all right, we can just eat this for a year and we good next year. It is, bro, 170.
Let's hit him. The Browns are thinking, let's hit him with the morality clause and use these cases to get out of this contract and move forward. That's going to be the thing
because now it's like, what's the worst trade? Like the Carolina Panthers with the Chicago Bears or the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson? Like,
and that's crazy to be mentioned in that. That's exactly crazy mentioned in that. But because you're right.
Because you forget about it, but then when you remember it, it's like it's crazy. But I say that to say this: I've looked at all the chatter. I'm on Reddit thread night right now to talk about Nick K talking about the QB on Tuesday. The Bengals are cooked, and I'm saying, and this is why I'm a mild mannered Nick. I said it before the game happened and everything, so you can't say I'm doubling back. I've been a Bengals fan for as long as Lou been a Cowboys fan, theoretically. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to disappointment and embarrassment and all kind of debauchery. So this doesn't, when you ask me what my panic meter is, like, no, I'm not panicked by them. I think if for everybody in the chat who always says that we don't watch the games, or they always say I don't watch the games, I watched that full game. If you watch that game, there was a lot of goofball shit that went down to the point where it's like Burrow couldn't throw. He threw 2 touchdowns. One was dropped, one was fumbled because the dude wanted to just bring it over the top like he doing a fucking D Wade trying to get an alley-oop type shit. It's like, what's going on? And then the fumble on the kickoff it was just like, all right, I think Burrow only had it felt very similar to like the Jets game last night, whereas like Aaron Rodgers was only on the field for like 8 possessions or whatever. Like Burrow didn't have that many possessions because the Bengals area of concern for me is their run defense. The Patriots ran all over them. Yeah, with Rondé Stevenson and all the other shit. Like they just ran the ball, and then the missed tackles was horrible. But to me, it was like the second half was like we shut the Patriots down. They only scored 2 field goals because it was 10-7, I think, at the half. And they only scored 6 points on that.
It was 10-0 at the half.
Oh, 10-0, sorry. And then it was 7-10, and then they kicked the 2 field goals. So, like, there was a chance for them to come back. Burrow, to me, in my mind, me watching the game, there were a few throws that he should have made that could have converted to first downs that would have gave us another drive. But he threw his touchdowns that he needed to win the game or tie the game. And then when you fumble the ball on a kickoff, that takes away a possession of his. A concern another mine is Zach Taylor when it comes to that 4th and 5. It was like 4th and 3. They could have kicked. They could have went for it. He kicked the ball when they had like less than 3 minutes left to give it back to the defense that's been getting gouged all day. That didn't make sense to me. That was could have led to the loss. But as far as, again, panic, I'm not really that panicked because we have history to go back that they always start off slow, then they end up catching fire, and they actually beat good teams along the way. The Super Bowl year, they were 5-5 that point of the season. For everybody that says that Burrow is overrated or why do we glorify him, he always doesn't look good or he shits the bed. I'm just like, all right, if we're going off of history and everything, what quarterback do you trust the most in the playoffs outside of Patty Mahomes in the AFC? I don't think we can say anybody's name but Joe Burrow if you want to go by the facts. So that's the thing that I'm going on. So this weekend is the weekend that y'all will see why I'm either going. We play Kansas City. This is the weekend that I've been preparing for to talk shit. Yeah. So I'm gonna. So this ain't the Tuesday that y'all should have tuned in and start posting all this shit. The Tuesday that y'all supposed to do is next week because we gonna see what to me the early season is on the line with this week.
If y'all get blew out,
Nick, I got a question. So, well, go ahead.
I'm not. I don't even know what you're talking about, Lou. He just said gibberish. Go ahead, Sheldon.
You shooting as well now. You got to give some of that to Joe Burrow, right? No. You had a chance to win, and you went.
I'll say this. You're right. I'll say this. Joe Burrow did not look good. He did not look good, but he didn't lose them the game. Is what I'm trying to say. He didn't lose. He didn't win it. He didn't win it. He didn't win it. But he didn't lose it. Like again, when you have those drops, when you have those fumbles, it's like you're not helping you're not helping the day. Be productive, because if those touchdowns happen, bro, we're talking about a different game. Like even if they won by a field goal, like that's fine, they won the game still. But like where else can he place the ball where the guy's gonna catch it? That's what I'm saying. Like how can he not control where the guy does fumbles on the 1 yard line like Zay Flowers did in the AFC title game? Like that's what I'm saying. We don't blame that on Lamar, so why not blame that on Burrow? I blame Lamar because I know people were like, "Why are you can't don't have the same smoke for Lamar like you do with Burrow?" Burrow ain't missed nobody wide open in the end zone. They just
Nick, my problem is
just keeping it a bean.
The only thing you can ask for as the star quarterback and as your number 2 ranked quarterback in the league is an opportunity to win the game. And I don't care what happened throughout the game; all that other stuff is irrelevant. He had the ball with a chance to drive down and score a touchdown, and he went 3 and out. So regardless of all that, if he's the number 2 ranked quarterback in his league, he should have been able to at least get a first down.
If you're placing everything on that drive and saying this is the reason why I don't believe in Joe Burrow, this is why the Bengals ain't going to move because of this, then I 100% understand why you say that. But if you watch the full game like we're supposed to be doing, then you see that there's things along the way that made that drive so important, because other people didn't do their job. And like Lou said, and FIFO said, like, it's just week 1. It's a rusty ass thing. Everybody didn't look good. There was only like 4 quarterbacks that threw for under 200 yards. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
Nick, you're being hypocritical.
That's what they want to say.
That's what I'm saying. Because we've had these type of contextual arguments before, and you didn't want to hear any of that shit.
Right.
You only cared about the end results.
I'm not saying that this is a good loss. I'm saying the Bengals got him. I started off by saying, like, Lou with Dallas.
All that shit you said should not matter based off of how you be rating everybody else.
If you don't put me in this, don't say with Lou with Dallas. Don't put me in this. We won. My team won. Bro. Like, don't throw me in this at all.
Okay, I'm saying that I'm used to being embarrassed and disappointed and with Bengal games and stuff like that. This is an embarrassing loss. Yes, I'm not excluding that. Joe Burrow, did he play his best? No, he did not play his best at all. He underperformed clearly based off the end results. I'm just saying, like, as far as when we're talking about panicking and all that other stuff, I'm not doing that because I've seen them start 0-2 and make it to the AFC Championship game. Like I'm in within these last 3 seasons. Like, so I'm not really that worried. The only time I'm worried is if Joe Burrow's injured or unhealthy, that's when I'm worried. Because when he's healthy, we go far. So that's
why you shooting them bail? Like, why are you shooting them context bail? Like you, and this is what Ken is saying. It's like when me and Shelton tell you that the wins and losses don't necessarily matter for Shedeur Sanders. It's how he's breaking it down play by play. What are his decisions? All you want to talk about is the end result. We talked about Lamar Jackson being able to go down with 1.5 minutes with 1 timeout left and be a toe away from tying that game or winning that game. You said that shit don't matter. So why does it matter for the Bengals?
One, we used to have that Shedeur conversation. That's about drafting. I don't give a damn about what that the wins and losses is about. Where is he going to get drafted at? And based off what we're seeing right now, I don't think he's going to be a number 1 overall pick. FIFO. Let's just keep
wins and losses, but wins and losses does not matter for drafting.
Hold on, that's my argument. It don't matter for you, but that's my argument. That's a separate conversation. When we talked about the whole Lamar game, I was like, look at the game, bro. He missed Zay Flowers in the middle. He missed Likely in the corner where he overthrew him. I'm like, those are passes where I'm like, You have to make those. And the one he did was the one that likely messed up. And I'm like, that's your third try getting a wide open touchdown. Like, to me, that's more.
Well, first of all, that wasn't a wide open touchdown that he threw to Likely.
No.
And number two, he drove down 80 yards with one timeout in less than 2 minutes. How many quarterbacks are doing that in Arrowhead?
And on top of that, the context that I was talking about was that can Lamar beat Patty? Period.
Hold on.
I was like, Ken Lamar. I said, look, my context. No. My context was, can Lamar beat Patty? Period. He's 1-5. I was like, when is he ever gonna beat Patty? That was the context and everything.
Please. All right, we gotta get this back on track. Nick, why did Joe Burrow lose the game? I just want to know.
They didn't make enough plays.
I just want.
Wait.
I want to know. No, I'm not. That's what I'm asking. Like, I need some specifics on why did we lose to Jacoby Brissett?
Ken started off with the missed tackles. I said everything that that's the thing.
Blame one person. Blame one person. Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Blame somebody.
I called out Zach Taylor. I called out Joe Burrow. I didn't say
nothing
about
was an issue. You're saying play calling?
I said play. I called out the specific play. Like that's. Okay. I think it's because I'm calm. Y'all not used to that shit.
No, it's not even.
I said
you're being like Shelton. You're on the fence like Shelton right now.
There's no fence.
That's why we asked.
I'm not in.
Don't try to act like.
There's no fence.
You set the example for it.
No, I said this.
I'm saying Nick is doing the same thing. He's not telling us what it is as a Bengals fan. You're looking at it and you're saying like that don't look right.
I just told you. I literally just told you. I said the run defense doesn't look right. It hasn't looked right.
It's the defense. You blaming the defense.
I'm not blaming the defense. There's a lot of people that you could blame. Though.
What's up?
I said Zach Taylor.
No.
I said Joe Burrow underperformed.
We have to get this.
What do you want? What do you want me to say? I don't understand.
I'm not saying, Nick. I'm not saying. I'm not even trying to do a gotcha. I'm just really trying to get some education right now, and I feel like I'm talking.
You're
to somebody.
Not listening. I honestly feel like
I'm talking to somebody at the DMV. I feel like I'm talking to somebody at the DMV. You want to go to this line or this line? Nick, I need you to give me some concrete shit. So, did Joe Burrow play up to his talent level? Are you saying that he did not live up to his talent, or was it just play calling that like prohibited him from playing? Because if we have the second best QB in the league, like you said, this is the no-brainer pick to win the AFC. If I have a healthy Joe Burrow, what does play calling really matter if I need to go get? Because last year when Brock Purdy didn't go drive down the field against, I think it was the Vikings or something, you said it don't matter because as long as they score. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for just some concrete.
I don't. This is the thing that I don't understand what y'all saying, because I'm not denying nothing that what y'all said. That's why I let y'all start it off. Like, go ahead, say all the ugly stuff, and I'm gonna say the stuff that how I feel about how I watched the game. I've given you multiple examples. I started off saying it was an embarrassing loss. I started saying it was a debacle of a game. Mm-hmm. I started off saying that Joe disappointed. He didn't live up to par. Look at his stats. I started off saying that fourth down call by Zach Taylor. I don't like how he called that play. That lost the game. I'll start off saying like they fumbled the ball. They couldn't catch. They couldn't do nothing. Like the defense gave up a lot of run. I called out Rondé Stevens saying like he ran all over the whole defense. So it's just like what else do y'all want me to say? You want me to say the Bengals suck? I don't think that. No. I'm just saying like I gave you the whole game plan as far as like these are the reasons why they lost. So I get what you're saying.
You know, I think it is Spike. I think the thing is here is that when Dallas loses Spike, you gonna say Dak played like shit. Mm-hmm. Mike McCarthy called a terrible game. The defense don't look prepared to play. If the Eagles lose, I'm gonna say Jalen played like shit. Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore put together a terrible game plan. We missed hella tackles. I don't even know if our secondary can compete, blah, blah, blah. What I'm getting from Nick is some very like, yeah, this one play was really hard. It was really crazy. This one play, Joe Burrow had he fumbled. Like,
in his bag right now.
You know what I'm saying? Were you prepared?
Yeah, what are you saying?
If Lamar Jackson lost to the Patriots, Nick, I'm just saying, I don't think we would be having this like Hallmark card. Like, I hope you get better next week, Joe.
This is what
Get
I
him
told
next
you.
week.
I was like, because I'm
you're
calm.
doing
Because
this,
I'm
though,
calm.
Nick.
I'm saying because I'm calm.
You're not committing to. You're not telling us what you're really saying.
Yeah.
You keep
I
telling us,
told you.
Zach Taylor called one bad play and Joe Burrow did. It's like, bro,
What are we
tell
talking
us
about?
this nigga sucked when he came out here and played the game on Sunday. That's fine. You still got
does
next
Joe
week.
Burrow look hurt to you? Because if he's hurt, like I get it, but nigga, why is he doing that if he's not hurt?
I don't think he's hurt because he was the way he threw the ball. Like he's fine. I just think y'all not used to be talking calmly.
I want you to say back, man.
I don't know what else y'all want me to
Stop
say.
saying
Like,
that, Nick. It ain't got shit to do with you being calm.
If
you're
you
not committing to what happened.
If you want me to say Joe Burrow sucked in this game, he did.
No one's asking you.
Like I don't know what
asking you what you've seen as an objective football fan, because you objective with every other team other than the Bengals, but now you're telling me that it could have been this, it could have been that. You sound like
could have
Sheldon.
been. It's not a could
It don't sound like me, man.
It could have been this. I don't know, man. It could have been this. Like you keep saying that.
No. I'm really wondering what y'all are listening to. I'm telling you, those are the reasons why they lost the game.
Okay.
These are the things that accumulated together is why they only scored 10 points.
Did Joe Burrow do a good job Sunday?
I'm not answering that question because I've answered that question already.
Did Zach Taylor do a good job Sunday?
I've already answered that question. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so what was the answer? Because I missed it.
Well, then you're gonna have to listen to the tape again on the recorder because I don't know how many.
Hey, that's what we're talking about, Nick.
This is like
you're not committing to anything, bro.
Okay, hold on. He did answer the question, and it was in the negative.
What are you?
I was enjoying the show.
I'm just saying
I'm hearing them.
I told you. I said I am mild mannered. I said this way before the game started. I was like, bro, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna be mild mannered
shirt and all the good shit.
I came in to say, I was like, here are the points that these are the reasons why the Bengals lost. It was an embarrassing, ugly loss. It shouldn't have happened. We should have started off 1-0, which is why it makes this upcoming game against Kansas City. That's the one I want to emphasize on. Like, it makes that a must-win game in week 2, because if they lose to Kansas City, 2 things happen. They're guaranteed. 1, they're losing any chance of getting the number 1 seed, and 2, Kansas City now owns the AFC. There's no reason for them to play any other game because they just beat the top 2 teams where people would say, like, these are the 2 teams that they're going to probably take down KC. And if they beat them both at home, which is more likely where all of Arrowhead's or the AFC Championship game has been, except for last year, that's a wrap. So that's why I'm like, the emphasis is on this week. This is the week that y'all want me. If y'all want me to scream and holler, that's going to be next week if we lose it, or this weekend if we lose this game. But I'm pushing all my chips in.
All right.
Everybody wants that, man. People just want just concrete, like straight up.
I gave that to y'all. Just not used to me saying. Y'all used to be being mild mannered.
Nah, that shit felt like the shit you was doing felt like when your girl mad at you, but she won't tell you what the fuck you did. It was
You
like,
trying to figure this shit out? Yeah.
like yo,
Q like Bobby Flay right now because he went 1,000,000% on point. Like you was all over the place, Nick.
I mean, you tell me. You tell me. You know what I mean? It's like what? Like,
I mean, but I seen you said it. Like, what are you talking about right now?
I mean, it sounds good. Like it's like
y'all just want me to cuss. I'm not. I told you I'm mild man. I ain't cussing.
Like I told you, I'm sorry. Like I didn't know that I shouldn't hug her in front of you. Like all right,
I didn't know I shouldn't be following her, bro. I didn't know that. Like,
I mean, it's your choice. It's like what?
All right, well, let's get Nick back then. Let's get we're gonna get the real Nick back now because we got to talk about his arch nemesis, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, got a dominant defensive win against the new look Atlanta Falcons on the road, 18-10. Did this win say a lot about Tomlin Fields, or did Morris Cousins give away this game?
If nobody would take it, I'll take it. It was Morris Cousins. This was Atlanta wasting fucking money for a quarterback who's over the hill. We just talked about how people can't perform past 40. Brady made this shit look like it was common. It's not. And now we got somebody who is on one leg trying to operate an offense with plenty of offensive weapons to the point where Ken picked him to go to the Super Bowl. And this dude can barely throw the fucking football. Like, it's insane. Like, I was riding.
That was.
I had to throw that in there. I was riding with them. I wanted their GM to win. I thought they made some good pickups, and then I seen Kirk Cousins performing at quarterback, and I was like, "Oh man, this nigga got shucked." Like this is a I don't even know how to put it. But
Lou, I got a perspective for you, and I don't know. Ken entertain me on this. A light bulb moment came out after the end of this game, because I watched. I was first game of the season. I had red zone and everything. I'm having all the screens as much as I can. I'm trying to see all the games. I watched this game because I'm paying attention to the Steelers this year. Man, when I tell you the light bulb moment came up, I was like, Raheem Morris is literally trying to save his ass, because he probably saw Cousins throwing the ball and trying to run around all off season and before the draft, and he was like, I am gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired by week 5. Let me go use this draft. They probably had a different draft choice on draft. Now, they probably gonna pick that DN. I forgot where he went to, but he went somewhere that everybody thought it was Atlanta was gonna pick him. They went to go get Penix because he's like, bruh, if Cousins looks as bad as he does in this practice and in this offseason, we're gonna need this guy right now to save my time. That's why he's playing both sides. He's double dipping on both things. Where like we got the high paid quarterback that should win this division, because technically he's the best quarterback in the division, and we also got something for the future in case he sucks. We can just throw him right in, and he's still on his rookie deal, so it will make all the money work for all the talent we got to win now. I think Raheem Morris and whoever the fuck, like that's the most brilliant thing, because when you watch that game, you like, what the fuck did they pay Kirk Cousins all that money for? Because we saw that last year with Ritter. If you want to throw picks and only score a couple of a touchdown or not, you know what I'm saying? Ritter, my guy, but like that don't look much different than last season,
bro. And I'll let whoever have it after this. I can't sign Kirk Cousins in the offseason and lose to a team that only score field goals. That's impossible. That's fucking impossible. Like, man, there's no way that's gonna happen.
And you got Bijan.
Yeah.
That's like having a Hellcat with no driver, man. Y'all, and no gas in the car.
No transmission. Like, what are we doing?
Man, that Pittsburgh defense looked really, really good, but more than anything, it was Kirk Cousins and the way he looked. It was just horrible. People were fooled by the preseason and some of the things he said. He said the right things. Preseason can be this mirage. Once the real bullets start flying, that's when you see the truth. And he ain't got it. And I don't think that was a fluke. I think that was what you're really going to get from him. If you put a little pressure on him, turn the stove up on him, you're going to see a lot of bad missed throws. And that's what you saw. That last turnover was atrocious. That was just ridiculous. I don't know what I could have picked that off. I don't know what he was thinking about, but yeah, shout out to Mike Tomlin for getting it done the way he gets it done. You protect the ball, don't turn the ball over, make sure we keep the ball moving, put points on the board any way we can, and play defense. That's what they did, and they won the game that way. And they got a chance to go 2-0 playing Denver this week. So same strategy, same recipe, same cake.
That was crazy because TJ Watt had like at least 2 or 3 sacks that got called back due to penalties and stuff like that. TJ Watt looked like a damn monster out there. And the Falcons
kick in. Oh, I'm sorry.
Whatever. We saw that
you know how the Watts get down.
we saw part of what is going to hold Atlanta back is that O-line is not great, but there aren't a lot of great offensive lines in the league anyway. But Shelton, everything you said, bro, when they turn up the temperature, when they go from 350 to 375, it's a big difference. It's a big damn difference. And that last pick that he threw, he had hot feet. He looked, first read wasn't there, and that man said, "Oh, I don't know." Boom, and he just threw it. It's like, bro, you can't. At some point, Penix is going to start this season. At some point, because
they got an ugly schedule to start off the season.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I tell you like this: Kirk Cousins don't have more than 2 more games looking like this. I tell you that because potentially week 4, week 5, if it looks like this. Because here's the thing, Nick, you like to be just black and white when it comes to wins and losses, and sometimes it doesn't need to be that. We got to understand the context, and the context with the Falcons is Kirk Cousins looked bad. Now, if he would have went out there, ball, Justin Fields made plays, and this, that, and the third, the defense made the Pittsburgh defense made the plays when they needed to make the plays, and they lost. But it's like, oh, okay, Kirk looked like he's okay. We're not talking about Penix at all. You know what I'm saying? But he looked bad. He looked spooked. He looked like a 40-year-old that didn't have wheels and got less wheels now. That's what he looked like.
They played the Eagles and the Chiefs next.
So look, if Kurt doesn't look like he can compete against those top tier teams, if it looks this bad, it's a wrap for him.
It's not even
this nigga look like this versus the Steelers, and they play the Eagles and the Chiefs next.
Not even that, Lou. After that, it's back-to-back divisional games. Granted, they're at home, but it's the Saints and it's the Bucks.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's a tough stretch, and he'll play all those games. I doubt that we'll see Michael Penix in any of those games. And the only reason I say if he makes it, the only reason I say we won't see Michael Penix. Well, right, that's what I was gonna say. But the only reason I think I don't think they want to throw him and baptize him by fire like that. You want to try to take that approach that, hey man, we're gonna try to work him in here, because I don't think that they think. I mean, they'll give him a shot, but it ain't gonna be detriment.
Look. I said it in our group chat early on. I said the first time I saw Penix out there in preseason, there's more juice in that man's arm than Kirk Cousins had in his whole body his entire career. And here's the thing. I don't think Penix is going to start against the Chiefs or the Eagles. I agree with you, Shelton. You don't want to put him in that fire. But against the Bucks and the Saints, you may need to.
No, hell no. It's I said week 6.
Those are division games.
Yeah, week 6 is the Carolina Panther game. We are going to see Michael Penix by week 6.
Right.
I would not throw him into the Bucks or the Saints, because they're going to try to take his head off.
And we saw what happened with playing the Bucks with Washington. Everybody thought Jay Daniels was gonna go out there and light it up. We saw what happened when the live bullets come. It's a little different. You ain't trying to get out there and get your quarterback hurt. You ain't want his confidence messed up. You want him to be able to sit there and observe as much as possible, go through this little stretch, and then you put him out there, like you said, Nick, in a game that's winnable. Panthers is the perfect time for you to see him. If they have a rough stretch, you'll see him by the Panthers game.
So you think if they're 0-4, that Penix ain't gonna be there in that 5th game? You think they're gonna wait till that Panthers game?
Absolutely. It's because the division gone.
0-4 not enough. Yeah, 0-4. I don't think 0-4 is enough. They're not going to
all that money.
Yeah. By week 6, if they're 0-5 going into week 6, the playoffs is out the question. You just need to see if this Penix guy can play, and then you can work out the money out. Ever since Denver let go of Russell, niggas is like, we'll eat the bread. That's why they trying to put the case on Deshaun now, because they get the fuck up.
Nick, I read that because I've been reading up on I read up on the cap a couple of weeks ago. All that shit is accounting, bro. It's not even real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they just move numbers around. It's not even real money like that. The real money, of course, is in the bonuses. But all the other shit, bro, that shit don't mean shit, bro.
The real money is
write that shit off.
Yeah, the guaranteed bread is what they that's the reason why Cleveland is upset, because all that guaranteed bread, that's the money they gotta give them.
230. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. If y'all Spike put it out there. I picked the Falcons. I was definitely concerned when I saw this, but I realized it was playing against Tomlin, which they are asking. I think they're saying Phil's gonna start again. But everything Nick said about the Bengals, just go listen to that. Is what I'll say about the Falcons. And we'll just keep it there. We keep it moving. I'm gonna make up all the excuses I can.
Bro ain't throw the picks like that. Bro ain't throw the picks like that. I will say this though. Definitely give Tomlin his flowers for coaching the hell out of that game and for getting Fields ready to play. I think, what was it? The day of that they found out, or whatever.
It started over the weekend, but I think they are. It's like the Niners, bro. They already know.
Well, yeah. Either way, he got
JJ.
Fields.
The Falcons just look terrible, dude. I don't
Watt was a beast in this game.
I mean, Watt's all. I said last week that TJ Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick have won like 5 games per season by themselves, just with their leadership on the D line and the back end. And
after Michael Parsons, Watt is the top defense.
Give me.
Let you talk about his team, Spike. You don't have your run.
Give me Myles Garrett and TJ Watt over Michael Parsons.
Now stop it, dude.
Come on. But easily, man. Like, I was trying to tell y'all last week. I'm like, I don't fear nobody on the Falcons offense. Like, I think we gassing these weapons, quote unquote. Like, they have a solid offense. I said last week, not taking anybody over Mike Evans, and y'all saw what the hell he just did on the Falcons.
You're right.
And Bijan Robinson, Drake London, does Kyle Pitts even play half the game? He doesn't flash. I don't see anything from this offense for real. And the defense that the Pittsburgh Steelers put out there every season, they have enough to win like 5 or 6 games by themselves. And Chris Boswell being the MVP of the game, it's just Steelers football at this point in time. You gotta hope that Russell can come back and give you more downfield play, more like, some vertical. But Justin Fields look like a good game manager, and if they can game manage 2, 3, 4 games with him, the Steelers are going to be cooking with gas.
I just hate that Russell ain't going to play in Denver. Is it in Pittsburgh or is it in Denver?
Yeah, I think it's in Pittsburgh.
Either way, I just hate that Russ ain't going to be able to get his own revenge on Sean Payton, because when we get our weekly picks, we go. I'm rooting for Tomlin this week. If he let me down, kid, it's a wrap. Yeah, that's the only Steelers love you gonna get from me out of the year.
2 more before we get to the picks. The Dolphins, that was the whole situation going on in Miami, but led by Tyreek Hill, came back down 17 points to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 20-17 at home. Was this loss on Trevor or Doug Peterson? Jacksonville did not score a single point in the second half. What happened here? Because I didn't get a chance to rewatch this game.
It looked like Jacksonville was going to blow them out in the beginning. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was literally like night and day. And then obviously Tyreek Hill is bound to he's going to take it 100 yards somehow, some way. And that's just
on the field and off the field, apparently.
But to me, I'm focusing on Doug Peterson, just because I don't see how you start off hot and you don't finish the job. Now, there was that fumble with ETN right at the end zone, like about to make a touchdown that the Dolphins recover, and I think that's when the tide changed a lot for the game. But not scoring in the second half is egregious to me.
I got a chance to rewatch it, Nick, and I don't think Trevor Lawrence did his job. Like, I don't know if we expect him to be a superstar QB or not.
No, he's expected. Don't do that. Don't do that. He's expected, but he's a number 1 overall pick.
Okay, fine, but he still didn't do anything to lose this game. The same thing as you were saying with Joe Burrow for the Bengals. He ain't do nothing that was egregious, as we were like, why is he playing quarterback?
That's why.
So
what did I say? What did I say though? What did I say, Lou? I ain't say. Did I say Trevor? Kid, did I say Trevor? I said Doug.
I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me.
No, you trying to throw you've been throwing niggas under the bus all night.
I am. I'm throwing you under the bus 100%. But I want you to know that Trevor Lawrence done his job. With that being said, the Dolphins having Tyreek and the Dolphins having Mike, their coach, as far as I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, I think that they just did a much better job with the players that they had, personnel, and coaching. Like the Jaguars are not able to hold up with them. And I'm starting to question the head coach of the Jaguars as far as I don't know if Doug Peterson can do what he need to do to take them to the next level. Trevor Lawrence ain't the problem. It's Peterson. Like we put a game plan together.
Week 1, you saying this?
Yeah.
No.
And I had him on my top 10 coaching list. I thought that he was supposed to be the reason that they got shit done, but he looked like the reason that they losing.
Sound like you were just
100%, Spike. You're 100% right. Trevor Lawrence had some throws in that game that's like, oh shit. Like there was one toward the left to the left side of the end zone where he threw a touchdown, where when he threw it, the wide receiver wasn't even like, he didn't even break, and he threw it past 2 defenders. I was just like, yo, like we're talking like that's elite arm talent. Now, I'm not saying that he has reached the level of superstardom that we expect out of him, Nick, but he flashes. And I think that the first head coach that he had, that shall remain nameless because that was a whole debacle, Peterson is definitely an upgrade from that particular head coach, but I don't know if it's good enough. And also watching that game, I keep saying it, the difference in the NFL, right, from these elite level play callers, play designers, and head coaches are I'm going to scheme 4 to 5 easy throws a game. You watch that Jacksonville Jaguars game. Trevor Lawrence was making all of those throws. That was the talent of Trevor Lawrence. And here's the thing: can you get by a season with that? Yeah, but guess what? You're not going to win multiple playoff games playing like that. You just not.
Good point. Really good point, CFO.
Any thoughts on what went down with Tyreek Hill? Now that we got more info.
So did everybody watch that?
That's an instant mic. That's an instant mic still.
Yeah, I was.
All right,
I'll say save it for that because
cool. Just wanted to check in.
That social injustice right there.
I do have a lot to say about that, but I think we'll go along. We'll go along.
Well, here's the thing. I don't be on Is the Mic. I'm gonna say this one thing. If it wasn't Tyreek Hill, that could have ended a lot worse.
Yes.
The way that them cops was just hyper aggressive for no reason, it could have ended a lot worse. And that's the sad part about it. It had to be Tyreek Hill for it not to escalate to where it could have gone, because we have history of similar situations ending way worse than that.
Right.
To piggyback off FIFO and not to go too much into it, I do think from the clip that I've seen, how he responded, they were looking at it like, oh, I'm a police officer and I'm right, and you're like nothing to me, and it didn't look right. And again, we can go more into it on his mic.
And did you wait? Hold on 1 second. Did you see when Calais Campbell came in?
Yes,
and
I seen it.
He was like this, and they put him in heck, like, bruh, like
I seen all of it.
Ego power tripping,
crazy, bro. And we ain't even talking about white people. We ain't talking about white cops.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Q, anything before we move to the lines?
I have nothing to say.
I love to know what Q think about it.
You already know what I think about that.
You know, I'm trying to set him up, Spike.
I love to know. That was good. That was good, Candy. You ain't gonna give us nothing.
Yeah. I will say this. It's hard for me to give a fuck when it's like you get at the conference, you like, look, man, I like police. I want to be police. Nigga, shut up, bro. Like, anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the part of the conversation that
I want to be a state trooper. Niggas just cooning, like he was cooning off a reflex. He's like, I want to be a police nigga. Shut up. I ain't about to march for shit.
I have a state trooper.
I ain't marching for shit.
I have a straight.
Bomani Jones said, like, Bomani Jones said, nigga, you got a Yogi Bear hat? What the hell are you talking about?
Oh God,
I wanted to be a police. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, you know, I still want to be a police. Like, I want to be a police officer when I retire. Like, nigga, what?
I don't know if that's like, I don't know if that's like some deep Stockholm syndrome shit of just like, I was so shook that like at the press conference, I just want to make sure that I don't ever get shook again. But
they thought
that's what shocked me. Like,
Tyreek was shook. He probably thought he was getting arrested for child support. That
shit. Move in and move out, Ken.
Hey, Ken.
Move in and move out, Ken.
Hey, no,
Ken, move in and move out. What we got?
Ken, what if one of them was the brother to one of the baby mamas?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
it was. They got that payment in 2 months. Nigga. My sister ain't got the payment in 3 months.
He was like, nigga, now you ain't gonna roll your window up on me this time.
He said, I'm Tyreek Hill. I know exactly who the fuck you are, nigga.
That's why I pulled you over.
I'm Stacy, nigga. Like,
you 3 months behind, boy. You ain't get no tutties tonight till she get hers.
Damn.
And then this nigga did an arrest celebration. I'm like, look, get this nigga out of here, bro. Like,
if we make Tyreek Hill, if we make Tyreek Hill a martyr, bro.
He already been on CNN doing the rounds, bro. Ben Crump is coming up next. You better believe that he better hire Ben Crump, bro.
No, but defund Miami Dolphins.
About to hire Ben Crump.
Defund the Dolphins.
This fool said, he said, I just had knee surgery. He's like, yeah, that's a good one. He said, what did he say? What the fuck wrong with your ears or something like that? Motherfucker talking all kind of shit, bro.
Oh my
He was crazy, bro.
I never heard a nigga said I can't sit down real quick. This nigga played football. He runs the fastest in the league.
He ran that knee surgery. He had an 80-yard touchdown.
Oh my god!
And said I can't sit down.
like Florida cops don't watch football.
I know. He said, "I'm
We
legally
know,
blind."
we know exactly who you is, nigga. Like, stop playing with us. Like, what are you talking about?
This nigga's crazy as shit, bro.
Bro.
Tyreek.
Y'all crazy.
Oh man, justice for Tyreek, man. But man, when they snatched his ass out that damn car, bro, when he put the motherfucker in the headlock, I was like, God damn,
My
bro.
man that came and snatched him out the car, he was on a mission.
He
Like,
yeah,
he
for
was,
real.
Like, yeah, he was pissed off.
He was upset.
Tyreek became very compliant then, bro.
Facts.
He said, "God damn, man." He said,
All right.
Oh, you don't want to
America.
sit on
Hey,
the
last
curb?
thing-
You don't want to sit on the curb?
Spike,
Oh,
the cop said, because Tyreek was like, black man in America, black man in America. But the cop said, nigga, we people of color. And he said, we don't give a fuck about nothing. He's talking about we people of color, we brown, nigga. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Sometimes, bro, it be some Cubans in Miami that be a little bit weird, bro. About
Man.
They lean way more to the other side than we do.
Yeah, they be on some other shit.
Anyway, yeah, y'all wrong for that, man. That was a serious situation. That man could have died. The Detroit Lions defeated the LA Rams in OT for Sunday Night Football 26-20. Is this year for the Lions Super Bowl or bust?
Hey, you know what? You know who I picked to go to the Super Bowl? I said the Lions versus the Chiefs. So I don't think it's Super Bowl or bust. I think if they make the NFC Championship game and lose, you know what I'm saying? It's a successful season, but they definitely got to make a deep playoff run because now is the time. Like, I said a year or so ago that they peaked early. This is when they should be a dominant force in the NFC.
I think I'm leaning more towards Super Bowl or bust, just because I think if they go back in the NFC title game and lose, I think that's when somebody's gonna all right, we need to make a big change. Like, I even though
Big change.
I think it's crazy to
It's
say.
Nick.
I think it's crazy to say that. It's crazy to say that right now because it's like, when has Detroit ever been as good? Why would you ruin something that's a good train? But it's just kind of like they were up in the game, in the NFC Championship game, and they lost it. And then if they go back, depending on how they lose it, more than likely it won't be a good loss because there's no such thing when you get to that level. It's like, all right, Detroit. Is people gonna question Jared Goff and be like, is this dude? This is the reason why Sean McVay gave up on his ass, and then there's gonna be something, or Dan Campbell may get, like, all right, we need an offensive coordinator and not a defensive guy to get him over the hump.
Nick Sirianni treatment.
And to me, this is where you get the Belichick. Like, maybe Belichick goes to Detroit because right now everybody keeps on talking about Belichick is sitting in the back in all these media broadcasting things, watching all these games, watching all these teams. He's going to be able to handpick where he wants to go, coach next, if that's the case. That's what I'm thinking of. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it is. I think this is their. I think Detroit has a lot of pressure on themselves this year to get to the dance.
I still think that they play with house money, and I think you saying that Belichick potentially going to the Lions is asinine. And the reason why I say that is over the last couple of seasons, ever since Dan Campbell was there, I've been on an island talking about how good Dan Campbell has been for the Lions. And we saw the combination of all of that in this Rams game because we're seeing the Lions take on that personality. At the end of the game, they were more physical than the Rams. They outlasted the Rams and they believed that they were going to win that game. And that's how they played. And that's all because of Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell wouldn't be the reason. And I also don't agree with your whole wholesale changes if they don't make it to the Super Bowl. Because here's the thing. Like, yeah, they do have a journeyman quarterback that nobody really wanted. But Dan Campbell got him back to the promised land per se. They drafted exceptionally well, especially on the offensive side. The defensive side, they still got a little bit of work to do. I do think that is the weaker side of the ball. But I think that they could make a splash in free agency with a big name defensive free agent, drafting potentially another good defensive player, because that is where they need help. I don't think that it's wholesale changes. It's minor changes if you go back to back NFC title games.
But my thing is this: we before you go, Sheldon, real quick, they were already talking about Belichick going to the Eagles, and and right now Nick Sirianni has done more in his coaching career than Dan Campbell, and he was about to get replaced. Now you could blame it on Philly fans being Philly fans and organization stuff.
But not even that.
To me, hold on, before you go, like to me, that says something as far as like Belichick comes with a lot of weight to these franchises, especially like a franchise like Detroit. Another thing is if you watch that Sunday night football game, bro, a lot of stuff happened in that game context wise. Puka Nacua went out. I think the Rams were missing, or like they're
three offensive
linemen. And yet the game was like, and then I think they were trailing by a touchdown or maybe a little by 2 possessions, and they came back and to tie the game and to go into OT. That game could have went either way. And if the Rams would have won that game, which they could have, been on the coin toss. To me, the coin toss is what decided the game. We're looking at this like, oh, the Lions gave up like another game. You know what I'm saying? Like they had a lead and then they lost it. It's like what, like against a team that a lot of people have a lot of faith in this year. So my thing is that's what I'm saying is like the Lions are in an interesting place as far as pressure because they never had it before, but they deserve it because it's like they have a really great team. They got one of the best offensive linemen in the offensive lines in the league. They got a great run game. They got a star wide receiver, I think, who's about to have a breakout year, and Jamison Williams. You still got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Laporta. You got Goff, who's a top 10 QB on most people's list. It's like, all right, this is the time to shine.
So let me go real quick, people. This is the year. It's Super Bowl or bust, in my opinion. You don't get as far as they got last year and come that close to being in the big game to say, a couple playoff wins is going to satisfy you this year. They had it. They had the victory in their hands, and they let it slip away. You're going to do everything you can to get further this year, and they feel like they got everything in place. And no, I don't think it's Matt Campbell as much as we give him a lot of credit. It is Ben Johnson who's running that offense. I mean, he does have to do a job of controlling the team and keeping them fired up, but it's all on that coordinator and making things happen and pulling the right strings, making sure everybody's in the right place. Because Jared Goff was an afterthought. And he had to be coached up. He has a great coach. And the thing is, Ben Johnson was in line for all these jobs that came open. He was the number one candidate and turned them all down to come back because he said, we have unfinished business. We need to be in the Super Bowl. So that being said, he's there for a reason. And if they do replace the coach, it's going to be with him.
So wait, hold on. I got a question. I got a follow-up question before because I know you're gonna go. Are you on the same wavelength as Nick if they don't get to the Super Bowl? Meaning that there will be changes.
Yeah. No, I don't think there'll be changes. I don't think.
Then what does Super Bowl or bust means for you?
Super Bowl or bust for me means disappointment. Like I believe they expect to do it.
That's
but
everybody.
I still think no. Everybody don't expect to do it. But
no, I'm saying everybody disappointed not making the Super Bowl every season.
No, what I'm saying is they expect to make it. They expect to make it.
Yeah,
but they're not going to make these changes if they don't. It's not now year 2 of not. I mean, well, year 3 if you look at it that way of these expectations. If you're not there, that's when you start to make changes. The only changes I see being made will be like bringing in, like we talked about, probably showing up that defensive backfield because you lost a top corner. You might want to show up your defense a little bit. You're right about that. The offense is pretty good. We're not going to overblow this Williams thing. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the number one receiver on that team, and he did not play well. So he has to step up. But
you could argue that was important. But you could say that he'd also. I mean,
and then I got another follow-up question.
Goff threw 2 ugly picks in this game. They won this game based on one. Nah, he threw 2. I think.
He threw 1 pick.
Goff. If it wasn't for that run game with the Lions that they had, they literally played smash mouth football.
Yeah, he threw 1
for that fourth quarter. I thought he threw 2. He almost threw 2, if anything. From that fourth quarter to the OT, they just did smash mouth football because I just think they didn't want to risk losing this game when they already basically they were up heavy. But to me, the way the Lions have been since Dan Campbell taking over, they have been progressing very well in ways that we haven't seen in decades. And I think that the fan base is progressing too. You're seeing more fans come out, more people. So expectations are getting higher. I think now, to Sheldon's point, like there's only probably one NFC team, maybe two, that you would say have a better odds of representing the NFC in the Super Bowl than the Lions. So to me, it's just like, and those teams have Super Bowl bust aspirations when it comes to the Eagles and the 49ers.
You put the Lions over the Cowboys?
Yes.
Yes, I would put the Lions on the Cowboys. Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
You are crazy. You are crazy. That's why you had to go get that hat.
Now, the hat been on since we started, people. But what would make
just noticing it now?
I trust Jared Goff more than Dak Prescott.
Goff is better than Prescott.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that.
I can't say that either way. I trust.
I don't see how that's insane.
I trust the team more in the playoffs, Lou. That's when it matters the most.
Who do you trust on the Lions more than you trust on the Cowboys? Who is it?
Their team.
I trust the team. Spike. All right. So hold on. Cause I feel like I got like 7 things I gotta address.
Really a bad argument.
Y'all sound like Nick when he was talking about the Bengals earlier. That's what y'all sound like.
Spike, I don't think this is the one though.
Spike, look, listen. The Lions first and foremost have the best offensive line in all of the league.
Yes.
Right? They have 2 running backs, literally lightning and thunder, that can do whatever you need them to do. They both can run outside, they both can run inside, they both can catch. Jameer's a little bit better in the catching, but it doesn't matter, right? They have 2 wide receivers, one that's up and coming with J-Mo. We saw him have a really big game. We know Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the better.
Yeah, one good game.
This is his 3rd year. This is the year that he should.
And one good game.
Spike. Okay. This is the year that he should be progressing to that next level. Amon-Ra is on the same level as CD, and now they have another guy that y'all don't have. Now there's another. Now there's another guy.
Wait.
I said they're on the same level. CD's better, but they're on the same. If we put them, if we're tiering them, those 2 guys are on the same tier.
Okay,
they're on the same tier.
They're not on the same level.
They're not on
they're on the same tier. If we tiered wide receiver, what do you mean how? Because I'm telling you they are.
You just told me
now hold on. Because he's rated higher, but they're on the same tier. Do you understand how tiers work?
Yes.
Okay. So then they would be on the same tier. Then on top of all of that, I like personally. I like what Dan Campbell brings to a football team versus what Mike McCarthy is today. Now, Mike McCarthy's experience and history and Super Bowl, of course, I'll take his career. But today, I'll take Dan Campbell.
Before you the same dude.
I know.
McCarthy is good.
100%. No, and I didn't say he was bad, but I'm just saying today I'd rather have Dan Campbell today. Career-wise, I'd rather have McCarthy.
What do Dan Campbell do?
We seen what Dan Campbell. He took the worst team in the NFL and got him to the NFC Championship game within 3 years.
That's not what he asked me for. He said, "What does he do?"
We know what he is, bruh. He's the rah-rah guy. He's the rah-rah guy.
So say nothing. Nigga, say nothing. It's cool. I was gonna say.
So wait, hold on. No, Nick, because you done said enough, bro. I need to address. Number one, you was talking about Nick Sirianni and how the Eagles can have all of this success, but then now there's rumblings of Sirianni potentially getting ousted, right? You know the reason for that is because the players don't believe, bro. Do you understand that it's not just the wins and losses, it's the context and also the locker room? When you lose the locker room and the whole bombshell thing of Jalen Hurts not getting along with Sirianni, these are the cracks in the foundation that leads to head coaches getting ousted either at the end of the season or somewhere in the middle of the season if it doesn't go the way it's supposed to go. We have not heard that about Dan Campbell. All Dan Campbell has done is instill confidence to all of those dudes that were once upon a time losers and has made their mindset into winners. And we're seeing it translate on the field over a course of multiple seasons. Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you this one question: if the Lions make the NFC title game or lose, or don't even make the NFC title game and lose, if Bill Belichick calls the Lions GM and says, "Hey, bro, I'm willing
They're
to
not gonna
coach
do
the
it.
team," you're
not gonna do
saying
it.
they're gonna fight for Dan Campbell and say like, "No, we got
Yeah,
Dan Campbell. We're fine."
100%, 100%,
They,
because
they
because
not
because
gonna
Yeah,
do
I
it.
mean they
Nick,
just had a version of that with Matt Patricia. So I don't think they really like.
they're not
that
gonna go
style.
back.
I was
Belichick,
gonna say
Belichick
it
ain't
don't
Matt
even.
Patricia,
I
bro.
was about to
But
I
say,
Nick,
mean, is he?
bro, Nick,
You
it don't
sure
even
about that?
take. It don't even take
I'm
Bill
sorry.
Belichick. They would take Matt Patricia right now.
No, they would not. No, they would not.
no,
Well, no, well,
I'm
excuse
not
me.
going
What's
that
the
far
dude that
with
was in Tennessee? What's the dude that was in Tennessee?
That's Mike
Vrabel.
Vrabel.
Vrabel. I'm sorry.
Mike
Yeah,
Vrabel is
that's
the
why.
only
That's why I meant.
successful one from his tree.
If Mike Vrabel called them right now and said,
no,
"Hey, I'll take the
Mike
job
Vrabel is
over
the
Dan
only
Campbell," they
successful
would
one.
take that.
No, they would
Nah,
not.
Mike
nah,
they
nah. They wouldn't.
They would take.
They
They would
like
take
I
Mike
told
Vrabel
you.
over Dan Campbell.
There's really
Like I
not
told
much
you.
difference.
Like I
There's
told
not
you.
much difference there.
They have a lot of confidence in their coordinators. Aaron Glenn does a great job of calling the defense. Ben Johnson calls the offense. You don't really need your coach to do nothing but stay out of the way. Same thing they got.
Shelton, were you saying this shit about Nick Sirianni?
That's what I'm
Because he
saying.
don't do shit.
I was
Mike
just
Vrabel-
about to say.
Mike
I
Vrabel
was
can
saying
take
that.
his job
Hey,
too.
Ken, that's what I was about to say right now. Is Nick Sirianni?
He was about to say that.
Yes, I was. It was.
He
coming out of my
he was
mouth.
he.
It
You
was
were
coming out of my
hyping
mouth.
Nick Sirianni
No, I was.
until they started losing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He lost his team. That's absolutely right. And when
That's
he
your
lost
man,
his team, that's it. When he loses his team, that's it. And then he brought in the coordinators to make the difference. Now he got to stay out of the way. He'd be looking crazy now. But all he got to do is sit there.
Vrabel can replace y'all coach right now.
But I'm
But
just
I guess my
And-
point is
and-
that
and
when
he can
Nick
replace the
Sirianni
Lions
was
coach
doing
right
all
now.
that winning, I didn't hear any criticism of him not doing shit and you praising the coordinators like you doing with Dan Campbell.
Because we didn't realize what the coordinators meant there until they left. When they lost the coordinators to Arizona and to the Colts,
Gannon.
that's when you started to see how much influence they had. Sirianni was a face because he was always out front. So it looked like, that's why I say it all the time when people talk about these head coaches. I'm like, we got to pump the brakes on that. Being a head coach is nothing more in a lot of cases but the figurehead. If you got great coordinators, you can win.
But to me, the reason why I was bringing up the whole Belichick scenario, depending on how this Lions season go, and Ken, we can move on if we got run up on time. But to me, it's like you don't turn like I would find it very interesting if you turn down the greatest head coach in NFL history, who will coach the hell out of one side of the football where y'all lack at in defense. Remember, I think that's probably the reason. One of the reasons why they lost the NFC title game was because their defense just I don't know what happened.
Let me pause it.
Bill Belichick.
Hold on. Let me finish my point.
You didn't even need to finish
my point.
I'm just saying. I have a question for you of your own philosophy. Nick, I have a question for you for your own philosophy. Isn't it your philosophy that asks, "What have you done for me lately?"
Yes.
Right? Like that's a big thing for you. What has Bill Belichick done in the recent Patriots history? Because to my knowledge is he's had losing seasons. He has not been able to draft, and that locker room and also the coordinators felt very discombobulated. The man hired a defensive coordinator as the offensive coordinator with a rookie quarterback, and that we saw what that led to. So at the end of the day, I understand, again, career-wise, I will take Belichick damn near over every single head coach not named Andy Reid, right? Career-wise. But in the last 3 years, the last 4 years, what has Bill Belichick done? He hasn't drafted a guy. He hasn't done nothing. So why would I take that guy that has a very questionable, very recent history versus a guy that in 3 years has taken the laughing stock of the NFL and got him to the championship game? Why would I do that?
Because all I'm asking him to do is coach this team to the championship, which he has more than enough experience doing that. He doesn't have
but
to
that's
pick
not
the
what
like you said. Hold on,
wants,
like hold on. You don't know what Belichick wants.
I do know because that's the reason why he's not a head coach. He wants personnel.
I'm saying,
and he fucked that up with the Patriots, and nobody else is going to give him that.
I'm saying this when it comes to going to the Lions. I don't think he's going to get that much power like he had in New England with the Lions because that's not the franchise that he built. But I will think the Lions will. And again, this is just me speculating, but I will think that if that ever does happen, the Lions are like, look, we just need you to coach this team. We already got the quarter. You don't have to go grocery shopping. You ain't got to go get the quarterback. You don't have to draft no wide receivers because we know you can't do shit with those two. We already got all that shit. We just need you to coach us over the hill. That's me going off of if Dan Campbell doesn't get them to the NFC title game and further this season. So
Nah,
I think it'll be a whole other season. I don't think it'll be this year.
No. Bill Belichick look like Ron Rivera the last 5 years, dude. Come on now.
Ain't nobody taking Belichick today, bruh. Not today.
if somebody's going to
Dallas
pay,
yes.
tomorrow.
He said he wants to. He said he's going to coach next year.
We will take him in Dallas tomorrow.
I'm sorry.
I'm not saying nobody will take Belichick. I'm just saying like him and Ron Rivera had the exact same like results.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Dude, like they had the exact same results the last 4
Talking about
years
somebody that got Super Bowl rings
with
Ron
the greatest
Rivera
QB ever, and then he take the greatest QB away. Now what?
He
So-
said he's going to coach.
There's a lot of coaches that.
That's like you can do that with every
That ain't
coach.
been proven yet. That ain't
do that with
been
every
proven yet.
coach. Name
I
me-
mean,
there's only
we
one
had
coach.
like 4 years to see what he could do with anybody but named Tom Brady, and
I know, but that's not exclusive to Bill Belichick, though.
I mean, but what has he done without Tom Brady in his career?
What I'm saying is that you
created
take a
Tom
good
Brady.
quarterback away from
No, they
head
created
coaches
Tom
that have
Brady.
won Super Bowls, you'll get the same thing.
We
not-
have
not with
more than
Andy
enough
Reid.
evidence. I think we have more than enough evidence to know that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were beneficial for each other's career. And Bill Belichick has struggled to do anything without Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
I
got a
don't
ring without
disagree
Bill
with
Belichick.
that. What I'm saying is that quarterback coaches that have won Super Bowls and multiple Super Bowls, if you take away the quarterbacks that they won the Super Bowl with, you will probably more than likely get the same results.
For sure, but Tom Brady did it without Bill Belichick. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, he went to one of the most high-power offensive teams of all
High
time.
bowls and
They
all
He got
They
lucky.
were
He didn't even do that
high-powered.
shit.
We're
He didn't even
doing
do that
revision.
shit. Fucking Aaron Rodgers fucked that shit up.
We're doing
Nah,
revision.
but Ken, they weren't high power before he got there.
Oh, come on, man. Y'all act like that team wasn't stacked, bro.
Jameis-
Now we're
Jameis-
doing revision history.
Jameis did throw 30 touchdowns. He did throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
With 40 interceptions. Fuck you
But
mean?
that's still 30 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Tom Brady
the
wasn't
weapons
shit that
The
playoff run.
weapons were always there, and people had success statistically. But in terms
And
of
Tom Brady also didn't do shit until he got
And
lucky.
if
Anyway,
if we look at that championship,
he wasn't good in the playoffs. Q, remember, he wasn't.
It don't matter. Did he win?
He Peyton Manninged his way to another
But
Super
he got
Bowl.
one.
Get a ring
But he
on
got
it.
All
one.
right, man, whatever. Shelter,
Meanwhile,
before we
Belichick
go,
was struggling.
Yeah.
because he didn't have a quarterback.
Okay, all right.
Brady had all of the talent on the Bucks, and Bruce Arians was the coach. He had a great coach who also had, if I'm not mistaken, what's the guy, Andrew Luck, balling. He also won the Super Bowl with, or he had what's the guy in Tomlin when he was with Tomlin. He had Roethlisberger looking great too.
All I'm saying is this. Bill Belichick is on the Manning cast, and no one seems to be like clamoring for him to get back into the league.
Well, what I'm seeing is people trying to get Brady off the damn cast. But
Right.
Justice,
all right,
justice
so
for Greg Olson. That's all I gotta say.
hey, for real, let's get into these picks. But before we do that, is Nick Sirianni Shelton a rah-rah guy?
I think so. I think Nick Sirianni is the face of the franchise, and that's what I see him being right now. You got some great coordinators behind him. But yeah, he is more of a rah-rah guy now. And like I said, I'm not there every day, so I don't know his ins and outs until now. When you saw this fall apart,
You see what he doing?
I'm not
What are
doing
you
nothing but
talking
saying
about?
facts. It's
What are you
facts.
talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What more facts do you need? I
Bro,
told
you spent the last year and a half telling us that this dude was the coach that y'all needed, and now you're saying, "Oh, you're a rah-rah guy." What are you talking about?
Hey Lou, he said. Hey
What
Lou,
I
he
said
said.
was the wins
That's
and
crazy.
losses don't
He's
lie.
crazy.
Ain't crazy.
That's
That ain't crazy.
crazy.
Wins and losses don't
That's-
lie.
that's-
If he's winning games, then you got to give him his props. But then I looked at it when they got rid of the coordinators and we started seeing a change and they start pointing the fingers. You saw behind the curtain what was really going on. That's when you know what's really happening. That's it.
Hey Lou, he said, "I ain't with him every
It
day."
You can't
But he
turn
don't
it
say
on
the
me.
same shit about
You
Dan
can't-
Campbell, though.
You can't
Bruh,
turn it on me.
come on,
You can't
man.
turn it on me because it's real. I say the same thing about
It's
Dan
on
Campbell.
you. It's
because
turned on
it's
you.
evident.
It's turned
You can't-
on you.
You can't.
You did not
can't
try to give
yourself.
Dan
You
Campbell
can't.
credit by saying I'm not there every day, but you definitely tried to do the same thing with Nick Sirianni, bro.
You
That
can't.
shit was crazy.
No.
What?
What I did was gave Nick Sirianni his props because they was winning. And then when they pulled back the curtain and they said, this is what's going on, I changed my stance because that's what the players said, not me, the players. So if they said Dan Campbell, if they came up and told me tomorrow that Dan Campbell is the one that's coming up with these X's and O's and not Ben Johnson, then my stance would change on that. Man, but I ain't never heard nobody say that. So there you go. That ain't me changing.
They tried to give Nick Sirianni some props. So I don't really know what he be doing, though. He could be calling plays and drawing up plays, but you know.
Nick Sirianni,
but he is the raw right guy, bro. Come on,
Nick Sirianni was calling the plays. Here's the real of it. Nick Sirianni was calling the plays. So when they were winning all this time, it was him and what's his name?
It don't even matter, bro.
Man, it absolutely does matter. So when he was gone, they took the play calling away from Nick Sirianni. They took his power away. Howie Roseman took his power away. So if you ain't got no power, what does that make you? It makes you a rah-rah guy, right? If you can't call plays, if you're not controlling the offense, you're just sticking your head in meetings, then what are you? Nothing but a rah-rah guy. So how can I change? That's it. That's it. If he was calling plays, I'd be saying something different.
Weekly picks.
All right, man.
There you go.
Do Q got anything to say to
Johnson, I'm sorry, yeah.
Eagles fan too.
Weekly picks.
Let's move on. Yeah.
Yo, that was crazy, yo.
Ain't none of that crazy. Ain't none
of
that crazy.
All of that was crazy. That was
bro. He be shitting on Dan Campbell, bro, because he's a rah guy, but he won't shit on Sirianni until they started losing. Here's the point of it all, Shelton. Dan Campbell's winning. Dan Campbell's winning as a rah guy, right? And you still shit on him. You didn't start shitting on Nick Sirianni until he started losing, and then that's when you started to point the blame to the coordinators.
Nope.
There's a big difference, bro.
Yes. That's how I'm saying. They keep saying no in the background, like
once again.
It's five people here, Shed. Like we see.
I don't care. Nick Sirianni was calling plays. They took his power. Y'all not listening?
We hear you. That's the problem.
They took his power away. When they took his power away, that's when I said he was a rah-rah guy, right? What else is he? What can I say? If they say, if your boss tells you, Ken, you're no longer in charge. You can't even do this no more because you're not doing the job adequately. What can I go by other than that? When his boss took his power away, there was no longer anything to go by.
Can I put a vote on
that? At this point, the offense, we already know who runs the offense.
Go ahead.
And we got the picks up, so we hit the picks.
He has nothing but overseeing power.
Shelton, he's spiraling now.
He's involved in none of the play calls.
All right, Shelton.
I don't even know what I'm responding to at this point.
Took that power away, and therefore he sounds like he's
on a loop. Jalen, cut that nigga mic off,
loop, bro.
Jalen, cut that nigga mic off.
Go ahead,
I don't even know what he's
I don't think that he can qualify as a rah-rah guy because Dan Campbell actually played the sport and he has like real energy and like can actually lead a group of men to battle. I think that Nick Sirianni is just like a figurehead. He's like a puppet. I don't think he's a rah-rah guy.
All right. Weekly picks.
Thank you, Q.
Hold on, Ken.
All right, Nick, it's on you, bro.
Hold on, Nick, before you go. My score should actually be 3-2 because I told y'all niggas don't listen to Nick.
Here we go.
I told y'all niggas don't look at his score. Look at his record. 0-4. Get the hell out of here. Don't listen to that man when it comes to football or sports in general.
Oh, look at me out here.
Shit.
Don't listen to that man when it comes to sports. His text be the words. He don't know what he talking about. And this is proof right here. This is proof right here.
First of all,
that 0-4 is crazy.
Yeah, spit on yourself while yelling at me is crazy. But I will say this: one, you said the Ravens game was close. There was a toe tap away. Two, the Lions. I mean, the Rams lost in OT. That I did. I went loose with the Jets, and I went loose with the who else did we pick?
Bengals.
No. We didn't pick the Bengals.
We didn't pick the Bengals. Who was the last game?
Oh, it was the Green Bay Philly. Green Bay Philly was a close game too. Philly should have lost that game, but
man,
you know what I'm saying. I high risk, high reward with me. That's all you got to say. But those are the
picks. Can you pick me up some lottery tickets when you copping those, please, too?
Q went 4-0 as well for the picks that we had last week. The Dead End Sports viewers' choice, y'all went 2-1 for the picks that y'all had. And then this week, y'all over here cussing me out for the picks that I put up there on the Reddit thread. Y'all not picking our picks, nigga. I say the best shit for us. Y'all get the whatever's left over. If y'all really watch football, y'all supposed to be watching these games too. But that's the records for what we got right now. So I already put myself in the dog hole. So I gotta dig myself out. But moving forward for this week's picks, we have the top four games that I feel like the storylines will be very, very interesting as far as how they play out. The first one, I think, Jay, if you want to cue it up, we got the Cincinnati Bengals going on the road to Kansas City, to what some people call formerly known as Burrowhead, but it's also known as
only you, bro. Not some people, only you.
I'm just saying, I've heard that in the news, Lou. It's not coming from me.
That must be that fake news Trump talking about.
But yeah, so we have the Cincinnati Bengals going to Kansas City for a game of the season right now.
Dolphin, excuse me, Chiefs. You ain't gotta build it up, bro.
Damn, Lou had an aneurysm trying to go.
Okay, so I think it's easy to see who here is.
You were saying too long.
You were saying
too long. I got the Chiefs. Ain't nobody picking the Bengals but you.
It's easy to see who's picking Cincinnati. Let's just go by that. Who raise your hand if you're picking Cincinnati?
No. Kobe Brissett's your daddy. Ain't no way I'm picking.
0-5.
Exactly. That's my
and Joe Burrow has left the game.
Y'all ain't right, boy. I swear. Y'all just want to see me upset.
You just want to see yourself upset. You the one that made that pick, bro. First of all, you made the first 4 picks plus this 5th pick. You about to be in the whole big time.
Outside of one of those games, it was all close games.
Okay,
but I do agree with Marty McFly. This is a must-win for the Bengals. But moving on, we got a good battle of the young QB battle coming up. Well, I don't even know if it's much of a battle, Ken, because his first week was garbage. We got the Chicago Bears going to the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud versus Caleb Williams. Shit, I'm surprised we all picked Houston. FIFO, ain't Chicago your hometown too? Don't you play? You the one that said Caleb was supposed to be. This nigga couldn't even throw 100 yards.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That's only week 1.
Okay, it's only week 1.
And you're a rookie.
Okay.
And you're a rookie. Don't worry about it. He'll be all right.
Jaden Daniels didn't look. I mean, he ran 2 touchdowns, but
hey, Jaden Daniels in fantasy was balling.
That was the garbage time. He ain't do nothing with the counter.
Hey, Ken, you know how I feel about garbage time in fantasy football. It's the best time of the game. All right, it's a clean sweep for Houston. All right, up next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers are going on the road to Denver. This was supposed to be a revenge game for Russ, but we're not gonna see that. However, I do want to see Sean Payton lose this game. I very much want to see that. And I'm so glad we all picking Mike Tomlin. So this is clearly going to be the game that he loses. And Sean Payton win this game with Bo Nix, Lou. You ain't gonna hit you gonna see me hollering. If the Bengals lose and the Steelers lose, that's gonna be the easy medium for me coming in.
Hey, y'all were hyping Bo Nix too.
I just said he looked good in the preseason. That's enough.
I told y'all Josh Allen gonna win that division. I told y'all that Baker gonna win that division too. So just stay woke, bro.
Yeah. All right.
Them live bullets be something else, bro.
Stay woke.
All right, and then the last game we got picking for this week. This is more of a headlines game than anything. We got the Cleveland Browns going against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville.
God.
The reason why Lou was yelling at me in the chat, y'all gave y'all some context of like, why the hell are we picking this game? His substitute game was the Saints versus the Cowboys, and I almost deleted. Look at the picks.
Look at the picks.
Yeah, I almost removed it from the chat. The reason why I'm bringing this game is because of
you were wrong. You were wrong. You don't want to admit it.
Lou,
look at the picks.
Let me ask you this question: if the Browns lose this game,
everybody's seen Deshaun Watson this week. Nobody is picking him.
If the Browns lose this game as
Cowboys versus the Cowboys,
let me get the question out. You don't know what I'm about to ask you, nigga. Shut the fuck up. if the Browns lose as bad as they did against your Cowboys, against the Jaguars, is Deshaun Watson going on the bench and they bringing Jameis out? Is this the game that we see Jameis Winston?
I don't even think that's a question.
$172 million say no.
Lord mercy. Man, if imagine like if the Bengals lose to Jacoby Brissett, like never mind.
And a rookie head coach, by the way.
Will there be massive changes on Zach Taylor's staff?
Shout out to Gerard Mayo. We didn't give him no credit for getting his first win.
For dismantling an AFC favorite in week 1.
Hey, look, you think these bullets hurt me as a Bengals fan? They don't. I've seen it all.
How about the Giants bullets?
Yeah,
I don't even recognize that team.
You don't even have a city anymore. You don't even have a city. You don't even got nothing to root for.
The only thing about the Giants that I like right now is the tickets are cheap.
He said MetLife.
Yeah, so those are the picks going in because those are the big headlines coming in. This is actually, but I will also say that this has been a shitty week 2 to follow up a great week 1 of games, as far as matchups, things we wanted to see. But week 3 upcoming, we'll have better games that I already looked at the schedule. But yeah, those are the matchups for week 2.
Hey, Lou, who you got in that Saints Cowboys game?
I ain't picking that game. I don't give a fuck about that game.
I said Lou.
I got the Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Lou, do not come up in here if they. Oh my God! Please,
what?
Don't let it happen.
Wait, what?
Don't let it happen. Do not just whatever you got to do. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
Do not. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it happen.
No.
The Saints.
Yeah.
Come marching in.
Do not let it happen.
Yeah, hey, Lou.
I will respect that we got super chats coming up, so I ain't even going to address that.
Just don't have a Burrow. That's all I got to say.
All right. Let's hit these super chats and get out of here. Rob Costa, members chat, member for 31 months. Appreciate it. Shout out to Gerard Mayo for beating MAGA Burrow. All right.
That's real.
Tweets open doors. Which bad week 1 team performance was a true sign of what they really are? Falcons are mine. Cousins still looks hurt.
The Raiders.
Mine is the Giants, period.
I mean,
the
Ohio teams, I mean, who knows?
The Giants week 1 was a true sign of who they really are.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not
Panthers.
getting better.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot. I don't know which one of them teams are worse.
Yo, Bryce Young gotta like go back to school or something, bro. Like this shit, like I don't know. He gotta go get his master's or something. Like that shit don't look right. It don't look right. It don't look right, bro. I don't know,
bro. You're right,
man.
Hey, it's week 1. You know, but by week 8,
I'll
be back.
What's his name? Lou, you may have been wrong about that Tennessee pick because we just we see Will Levis can't.
Will Levis on the ground like, oh my God.
Will Levis
he can't drive the bus. He can't drive a tractor. He can't ride a bike for that team, boy. That shit is. He gave the game. That was an easy win for them to take. He literally gave them a game.
Okay, 97 yards, bro.
They had to tell Caleb Williams they won. He didn't even know. What?
He was too busy painting his fingernails on the sideline. He like,
Q, someone said it. I don't know where I read this from. They called Caleb Williams the LGBTQB1.
Oh my God, that is fucking brilliant, bro.
That is insane.
Oh man, I wish I came up with that one.
He giving a whole new meeting to bear down.
Okay, all right. Wu Young, we gonna get shut. We gonna get shut off. We gonna get shut down, bro. When did Burrow change pronouns, Nick?
Look, I'm not worried. I am not worried. You'll see me panicking if we lose next week. I'll panic
like I do. That's what you said.
Wow, Nick, keep it a bean means nothing now. LOL. That's all the Burrow conversation.
That's hilarious,
bro. This chat be calling.
I didn't know people hated. I didn't know people hated the Bengals this much. That's crazy. I thought we was not on nobody's radar.
I think it might be you. Ayuk is the number 1 receiver, but the 5th passing option after Bo, Jennings, the tight end, and fullback ain't adding up, fam.
Give him a break, Beans. He didn't even get a full week of practice in. So
that's on him. They got nothing to do with us. he decided to stay at home, nigga. Everybody else went to work.
So there's a receiver in Cincinnati who never mind. It's all
Thank
good.
you. Hey, you ain't going. I'm not gonna say
Nick. It's all good. No, DMV.
No,
it's all good. I'll go to this line.
No, Q. I want you to know this. I'm completely biased when it comes to any Jamar talk because I'm not gonna say anything that's going. I'm not gonna say anything nice or anything bad about him because he played for the Bengals. But if this was another wide receiver, I'll be saying all. You see the chat that when I say in the chat, I ain't gonna say it out loud.
That's crazy.
Flavian, Kyle Shanahan said CMC has Achilles tendonitis.
Yeah, they said he may miss another.
To play with. That shit hurt.
Yeah, he may miss another week. So, or so.
They probably say like, bro, sit out another week just so we can get through this lie.
That's like a 4 to 6 week thing, bro. If you're trying to like make sure it's fully healed, depending on how bad it is.
Yeah, this is the Christian McCaffrey I know.
He'll be all right though.
Yeah, the team will be fine without him.
Yeah.
All right, we saying that now. Let's screenshot this moment.
Yeah,
hey, did y'all see real quick? Did y'all see where he was saying? I think we may have talked about it in chat, but where he was saying that he knew Friday he was going to start, but they didn't announce it at all.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's the reason why he said this. I think it's BS about his Achilles tendonitis because I think they're just trying to get out of the lie, so he ain't got to get fined.
That's crazy.
Last one. Oh, I thought Lou fell asleep on us. NFL needs college OT rules. All right.
Regular kickoff rules.
I like regular. I'm with you, man. This kickoff thing, I'm not liking it whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
This like some slam ball shit, bro. I don't like that.
Yeah. At this point, they just got to get rid of the kickoff in general. If you want to just do it like that.
Hey, Devontae, I was about to say, bro, because I saw the message in the chat. that shit. Yeah, that was a little wild, bro.
Wow.
Anyway, all right, man. Well, great show, everyone. Yeah, man, week 1, lots of things to talk about. We got through it. Some very spirited debates, which will continue, I'm sure, as we move forward into week 2. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and all of that good stuff. And follow us on socials and everywhere. The content is going up. So we'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.